wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022. 800-709-7022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Forte. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He'll be back next week. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I'm going to say something, Keon. You've been very stylish the last couple of days. I didn't notice that. What's going on there? What's that? Were those flowers? What is on the shirt there?
There's flowers and stuff like that, and
you've been very colorful lately.
Couple of sweaters the girlfriend got me for Christmas, so I decided to wear them. And
I was going to ask you what was on your shirt yesterday, but I forgot. We kind of got caught off guard, even though we should have been on guard. It's like we knew it, but then we forgot it, and then we got caught by it. The end of the show. We were like, let's take a break. Oh, we took a break. holy crap, GCU starting right now.
The moment I hit it, I was like, oh no, oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. We knew the GCU game was going to start, and we just totally got caught up doing our own thing and right out the brain. And so that's why the show ended so abruptly yesterday. But it's all right. I figure you guys figured it out. We figured it out.
You did give the time, so hopefully it wasn't too jarring, because you did say, hey, at 5:45 we're going to step away from GCU.
Yeah.
We just didn't have the music to end the show, so
we were aware of it, but we forgot.
Absolute brain fart in that moment. Yeah.
We will talk about what happened to GCU last night here in a few minutes. Right now, it's I hope if you wanted tickets, you got tickets. I heard the tickets are kind of cheap. Talking about the Vikings-Rams wild card game that has been moved to State Farm Stadium, which, by the way, people are mad about that. They're like, yeah, how can you have it at State Farm Stadium when they canceled so many people's fire insurance policies? But they've been doing that for years.
And State Farm is the sponsor. I mean, it's not like State Farm is absolutely involved in what the Cardinals do in that building. They paid the Cardinals to have their name slapped on the side of the building, so their name slapped on the side of the building.
Yeah, and the other thing about that is, if you get your insurance canceled, you have to look around and go, okay, why is this happening? Oh, because we live in a place that is a tinderbox, and they are not willing to take that risk for my however many hundreds of dollars a month. You have to start to take some personal responsibility for things when you're like, oh, so living here would cost me more money. I'm not talking about the people who just live there in certain parts, like you and me. People like you and me, those they got screwed over. But there's a point where you're like, it's crappy, and it's been a problem for a few years. People have known about it. But also, if you're running a big company and you see a giant risk looming, I don't blame you for not wanting to cover that. They did it fair and square, to the point any insurance company does anything fair and square.
Right.
But, they didn't renew. They didn't just cut people off, or did they? I don't know if they just sent them a letter saying,
it was just like, we're not going to re-up this. This doesn't feel like it's a good risk for us, the insurance company, because we know there's going to be a fire here at some point.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who shoulder responsibility for what's going on there, and it's not State Farm Stadium. You want to be mad at the insurance company, I get it, but
and by the way, I mean, State Farm wasn't the only one that was doing it. Progressive did it with their housing insurance, and you can go look at all of the other ones. They were doing this because this is a general feeling in insurance.
Yeah,
insurance companies aren't great, so this is kind of what they do.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I am not pro insurance company. I had to cancel a thing I needed to do today because guess what? United Healthcare is not covering something. What a shock!
Yeah. You mean the company that's canceled more of the insurance for healthcare than any other health insurance company is not doing a thing? There's no, imagine how am I surprised?
Yeah, I'm aggravated because I told the doctor's office, I said, if there's any issue, let me know in advance. And they're like, oh, sure, Mr. O'Brien. And so then tomorrow I was supposed to get an MRI done on my shoulder, right? And then I get a text message today that says, okay, here's the thing. You're all signed in. Everything's great. And bring X amount of money for this. And I'm like, that doesn't seem right. I'm like, and so that's more the reason I canceled, not because I can't pay for it, just because they pissed me off. But yeah, I shouldn't have to pay for that when I got insurance.
That's what the point of having insurance is. That's what you pay into it for.
Anyway,
that's the thing, is like, you don't collect my money and have me pay into this for you to say no.
And keep moving the goal line. What I'm saying? They keep moving where it is. We'll accept this much, not this much. And you know that on the other side of that, there are negotiations that go on between the insurance companies and your healthcare providers where they're like, it's going to be this much. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, how about just this much? So they're negotiating behind your back. Nobody's negotiating anything for you, like you personally.
Even though it's your money going out. But anyway.
Yeah. So don't get the wrong idea. Insurance companies suck. But in this circumstance, when they were like, yeah, it looks like a place that might burn the hell down, and we don't want to be financially on the hook for it. So no, we will not take that gamble.
And I have a friend who lives in Florida, and she's been kind of dealing with that too, with the hurricane stuff. She lives in Miami. So, a lot of the insurance companies have been like, the hurricanes have been more frequent and stronger. Don't know if we want to cover that. So they've been not renewing that as well.
The game of insurance is a gamble. Always has been. You say, I'll put up this much money that says, I don't know which way the gamble's supposed to really go. That this will happen or this won't happen. And the insurance company's like, all right, we'll gamble that it won't happen. But if it does happen, then we'll pay for it. It's a bad gamble for the insurance company when the eventuality of everything being on fire, tornadoes over here, hurricanes over there. So it just
does feel a little bit like Vegas, the house always wins, where it's like, okay, you've been taking my money this whole time.
That's part that stinks.
Now you're not going to cover it. Well, if I knew you weren't going to cover it, I wouldn't have paid you.
Right. Well, but that's the thing they'll say. It's like, well, no, you paid the gamble for that period of time. And we were there. It didn't happen in that period of time. So no, you got your money's worth.
So I will say in LA and in California, it's happened to a few people in that period of time, and they have paid. Just this time, not so much.
So don't be mad at the stadium. Don't be mad at that. I mean, things are still really bad and getting bad again with the wind picking up. Air quality is so toxic. I think it just got appointed to the Supreme Court. That's how bad it is. And it just everything is. Oh, by the way, JJ Redick, his house, he was renting a house. That thing caught fire. Of course, now that just means he can spend more time, just move into LeBron's pocket full time, just live there, as we all figured was going to happen. I don't care about what the celebrities are going through. I mean, everybody goes through something. Everything's relative, but I just don't have it in me to feel sorry for
suffering. Suffering is suffering, so I do feel to an extent for them.
Sure,
just
but
not
their suffering
not
is
as,
not more important than somebody else's who doesn't have a camera in front of them.
Yeah, not as much, because not only do these other people not have cameras in front of them, they don't have the means necessarily to move somewhere else
or even get a hotel room. In some cases,
yeah, everything, their lives are ruined and may never be the same again. Where a celebrity can bounce back, and that's where I have more pity for just your average person.
Well, there is some good news. You know how Paris Hilton, she lost her Malibu house. Well, the good news is that's also where her recording studio was. So, there's little silver linings that you can find in all this damn tragedy, and so far it's not as many people have died as could have. That thing has just been terrifying. So I talked to Ralph is supposed to be on today. I don't know where the hell he is. But he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I got 4 tickets to the game for the Vikings Rams. And he said the prices are really not very high. He got some tickets up in the Ring of Honor where he likes to sit for $50 a piece.
Wow.
He says down a little bit lower, they were 80. So these ticket prices, they want to fill the stadium. You were right yesterday when you said that. Like, yeah, they just want to fill the place. So, I mean, the tickets went on sale at 10. SeatGeek is where you'll find them. I don't know what is left, but it sounds like it might be affordable. Pickle D says, I popped on to grab tickets because I saw they were as low as $45. By the time I logged in, started searching, they had jumped to $150, lowest price. Oh, wow. Ralph got in there just in the nick of time.
Yeah, you had to get in there a little bit early. And to be fair to Ralph, he knew exactly when the tickets were going to go on sale. So he was ready to go as soon as they released
as
them.
A lifelong Rams fan,
which he reminds us all the time, and tries to act like that's a completely reasonable thing to be.
As soon as the Seahawks fail, he's a lifetime Rams fan.
Like if the Commanders left Washington and made me mad and I changed teams,
you don't go back.
I'm not gonna. If they moved back to Washington, if they were still in a division rival of the new team that I root for, I'm not rooting for them anymore. Like that's why I haven't let go of the Commanders, because I'm not ready to. If you're ready to, fine, but do it all the way.
Well, aren't you glad you didn't now?
I'm really glad I didn't.
Devil Hawk says, I knew Flo was a complete and total bitch. This just confirms it.
That's not, she's not personally.
Yeah, Flo's an actress.
She just says the things that the script and teleprompter tell her to say.
Tired of her too. I'll be honest.
Yeah, we're all done. I mean, we were tired of her about 5 years into that, and that went about 10 years longer than it should have. So here we are.
Silver Pop says, "Good afternoon, guys. I'm in the East Mesa area of the valley today, and your signal is staticky over here. Is there another frequency?" Well, I don't know what frequency you're listening to. We have a handful of them. Any one of them could probably do you good. If you're trying to listen to 99.3 FM, if you go farther east, yeah, it gets a bit dodgy. And 95.9 is not that stable, let's be honest. So 1580 AM might be your best bet, or just use the stream.
Yeah, I use
the app.
I use the app. I've got a little aux cord in my car. Just plug it into my phone, open up the app. That's it. I'm good.
Big George says, "Hello, gentlemen. Yeah, I was a little bit thrown off by the sudden end of the show yesterday. Yeah, so are we."
As we completely forgot that it was ending.
Yeah. I'm just glad we forgot the right direction and we weren't just sitting here screwing around and GCU's going, "Are we going to do a game?" Didn't want to make a bunch of people mad there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now, did you guys talk about how the line on the Vikings-Rams game is changed because of the move of venue? It had been 1.5 point difference with Minnesota favored on the DraftKings. And then after they relocated, they favored the Vikings now 2.5 points.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be shocked that by the time that game actually gets played on Monday, that line could be 3, maybe even 4.5. You know, I mean, it's just seems to be moving that direction because you lost your home field advantage, and home field advantage in the NFL, people estimate that that's worth about 3 points.
Now, it will be interesting to see what you see in the stands on Monday. Will it be more Rams fans or more Vikings fans? I know that there's a bunch of Vikings fans here, but it's also close proximity. So if the Rams faithful, if there are any,
well, you were saying that there's a lot of people that you don't want moving from LA to here, but they already have.
No,
there's a lot of Rams fans here. I've seen the flags, I've seen the bumper stickers, stuff like that. So yeah, the Chargers are the ones that don't have fans. The Rams do have fans. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see who's got the tickets. You know what I'm saying? Who's got the tickets? I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know. You can look at it in a couple of different ways. Vikings fans who are here from Minnesota probably have more money and the ability to buy some better tickets. But there might be more Ram fans in general who will buy some of the cheaper tickets.
Yeah, that makes sense. Saying? Yeah.
I have nothing to back any of this up other than just
like an intuitive guess.
But a lot of people in LA have money, but I think they need to save it for something like, I don't know, a new house. So
yeah, but if you moved here, like because the people who are going to this game are probably not the folks that are fleeing the fire. I think the people that are here, the people who've been living here that just moved from LA maybe a few years ago and are making their lives here.
Oh my God, Charlie boy, we haven't heard from you in a while. He says, "Hi guys, I did get tickets for this Monday from a friend, and man, paying $125 total for 2 tickets, that's crazy to me. But it is the playoffs. My friend is a big Vikings fan. That is pretty cheap, actually, Charlie boy. 70,
yeah, I mean, the cheapest tickets right now are $108.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to guess ticket. There were some fees involved that made it $125. Are you saying it's crazy because it's a lot, or are you saying it's crazy because it's a little? You know, like you're surprised." Fifth letter says, "You're going to hell, Jeffrey." And smiley faces. What?
Again?
I don't.
You're going to have to be specific because I mean, there's a bunch of reasons. I mean, I'm not particularly religious, but I imagine if Jeffrey gets to the pearly gates, Peter's going to have a choice. He's going to have many choices.
I'm adorable, though. That's the thing. I'm counting on. I'm just adorable. So, all right. What else we got here? Oh, the NFL has announced that $5 million will go now to support communities affected by the wildfires. Well, that ought to do it. I mean, sure.
You're worth billions of dollars, and here are people who represent at least some portion of your fan base, and you're just gonna chill out just a couple of dollars. It's fine.
That's great, bazillion-dollar nonprofit. Nah, that's cool. I mean, yes. Oh, Chargers. Was it the Chargers? Yeah, Chargers. We're like, hey, we've got $200,000.
Oh,
with your name on it.
Wow.
Fire victims.
200,000 entire dollars.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe do better. You could probably do better. You could do better. Silver Pop says, thanks, Jeffrey. I'm on 95.9 FM now, and it's crystal clear. Yeah. Are you driving around? Because that's going to be hit and miss. I'm not going to lie to you. 95.9 FM in the East Valley. Little hit and miss.
Yeah. Like when I'm in Tempe, sounds great. When I get closer to my house,
yeah,
not so much.
There's a couple little lumpy mountains that kind of block. We're working on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Moist One says Freddie Freeman himself put up 100,000.
I mean, that's exactly the problem, right? Freddie Freeman put up half the money that an entire franchise worth billions.
Jamie Lee Curtis put up an entire $1 million.
So the Chargers should be ashamed of themselves, but also they're an incredibly cheap franchise, and that's why they're the Chargers.
Charlie Boy says, I thought considering the game here would be cheaper than going to a game in California. Guess what, Charlie Boy? It still was.
Yeah, it still was. And I also have to point out, like, the demand for this game is higher than you think, again, because of the amount of Rams fans and Vikings fans that just happen to be in this city.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm still
Which
curious
the NFL
what we're
won't
going to end
complain
up with. You know, I wonder what we'll end up with. You think we're going to end up with more Rams or more Vikings?
My
fans?
guess would be more Rams,
You think?
just because of how close we are to LA and how many LA transplants I personally know that live here. Like, a lot of them.
We just got to assume somebody's selling cheese curds at State Farm Stadium, right?
That's a good way to get the Vikings fans out for sure.
Well, that's a good way to make a crap ton of money. Them Vikings fans love the cheese curds.
Midwest staple.
I could use a cheese curd. Although I think I've overdone the cheese. I had a little chunk of lasagna for lunch today. Plenty of cheese in that. Navy Brad says if Los Angeles is looking for more fire trucks, they have a museum. Bring back Engine 51 and Squad 51. He says, by the way, I'll be at the game. Well, that's right. Navy Brad is a Vikings fan, is he? You're a Vikings fan or Rams fan? I forget already. I get all your guys' fandoms confused unless it's part of your name.
Yeah, like Chief Skull.
Well, that's easy.
Yeah, that's an easy one to remember.
Navy
and then Donnie,
Brad,
of course, won't shut up about it, so we know Donnie.
Yeah, I'll just ignore him. I can do that. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back later on in the program. We're going to do our super duper wild card weekend Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. Ralph, I think he'll be around. Maybe he'll be here at 4. I don't know. And then we got all kinds of stuff to talk about. Come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns back in action on Saturday. They're home to face the Utah Jazz. Thursday night, they defeated the Atlanta Hawks 123-115. The Jazz come to Phoenix Saturday, losers of 7 of 9. College football tonight, the Cotton Bowl at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. It's Ohio State taking on Texas. The Buckeyes are a 6-point favorite, minus 240 on the money line. The Longhorns plus 200. The over-under is at 52.5. The winner will play Notre Dame for the national title. Fighting Irish beat Penn State at the Orange Bowl. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Saturday, it's NFL football on the Fanatic.
It's defense against offense when the Chargers line up against the Texans this Saturday at 2 p.m. The Bolts defense gave up a stingy 17.7 points per game during the regular season. The Texans, however, look to revive that stat when Nico Collins and C.J. Stroud team up for some high-flying offense. It's Chargers at Texans, Saturday at 2, live.
You're home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Today is National Houseplant Appreciation Day. We appreciate the houseplants by never having any. My wife is a houseplant murderer.
So you're doing it for them.
Really? Unable to keep them alive. There's been just like maybe one or two plants that have actually tried to live inside this house under protest, and none of them survived. 0% survived. So we will appreciate them our way. You can appreciate them your way. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
My girlfriend's got the green thumb. She just doesn't even try. It's like, when was the last time you watered that? I don't know. And they live forever. I got nothing.
They're not fake plants?
They're not.
You're sure?
I'm very certain.
Yeah,
I'm very certain.
Yeah. Some people got the touch, I guess.
Yeah.
Just the Tips says, I love houseplants. They smoke well. I don't think we're talking about the same kind of thing.
Different houseplants. If you have to visit your houseplants in a greenhouse, I don't think we're talking about.
If you got an ultraviolet light on it, it's not
it's
what we're talking about.
Yeah, different plant.
So let's talk about what happened last night. First, let's cover Notre Dame Fighting Irish going to the big game. That's a kind of a stunner. Just their entire trip from start to finish to end up in the national championship game. A lot of people are still a little salty about their even being there, but let's just talk about what happened last night. Sounded like it was a really good game. I did not see it. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. It was a really good game.
It ended in dramatic fashion.
I mean, granted, Drew Aller and Riley Leonard looked like they were having an interception off to see who could throw the most ridiculous interception. And I think Drew Aller, despite the fact that he threw less interceptions, he only threw one. I think he won because the timing of it and how horrible it was.
But it was
awful.
three interceptions between the two of them. So it wasn't like, remember when Goff had like 5 or whatever?
Yeah, it wasn't like they had a lot, but when they threw it, it was
worst
awful. Like
moment.
Riley Leonard threw some interceptions, like the 2 interceptions he threw, you're just like, what? It wasn't like the defense had to make a great play. You threw an interception that was horrific. And then Drew Aller, who hadn't thrown an interception to that point, last drive of the game, there's still some time on the clock. The game is tied. He's in the process of being sacked, and he just goes, screw it, I'll sling it directly to a linebacker. Game over.
He says he was trying to throw it. He was trying to dirt it right in front of him, and the guy just dived into it. It's like, well, maybe that's why you don't dirt it right in front of a guy.
And
dirt
maybe,
it to the right.
don't
dirt it to the left.
Dirt it 15 yards downfield. Maybe you
dirt it out of bounds.
Dirt it at your center's ankle or your left tackle's ankle, like you're supposed to. Or better yet, just take the sack. Like the game's tied. Just take the sack. What's the worst thing that could happen? You punt? Okay. This is, I don't understand.
Dumb thing, but okay.
I'm not going to kill him about it. He's not, a 10-year NFL veteran, but good God, man.
I'm just glad that Kitty Diddler State didn't get to the championship. I'm happy about that. And so now tonight we will find out, who's going to meet them. Is it the team that beat ASU, or is it this other team I don't like? And I don't think they were supposed to be here. Well,
I mean, you could say they weren't supposed to be here, but then they went up against
last. Who beat them last?
Who did they last lose to?
Yeah, was it Texas?
Michigan?
Oh,
in the Big Ten championship game.
Oh, that's it. That's
in a game that they didn't seem to show up for, couldn't score points, couldn't move the football, and then decided the moment that the playoffs started, they were going to turn into some kind of buzzsaw that they had never demonstrated that they were before that game. Like the offense had flashes throughout the season, but the game against Oregon, a team they already lost to, they went right through that team like a hot knife through butter. It was
that's the game.
Absurd.
That was just a treacherous surprise. So, by the way, Kitty Diddler State, James Franklin, the coach, he's now 4-20 with the Nittany Lions against teams ranked in the top 10. Is he fired? Can he be fired? Because I feel like a lot of people want to fire him, even though they got this far. A lot of people are not happy about this. It's like, you okay, great, but you don't beat the teams that matter, top 10 teams.
Yeah, I mean, that's a problem, and I do think eventually he'll get fired. But the fact is, he has Penn State kind of in the conversation every year. And so if you fire James Franklin, who do you get that's better? Or do you ride it out with James Franklin and hope that he may have a single year that's really, really good? Because he only needs to win you one to make you feel good about everything. And there are coaches that are, in college football that don't have that level of success. They get to stick with their teams for 15, 16 years because it's just hard to find the next guy.
Yeah. I will tell you what, Notre Dame found the next guy, and now he's about to become the first black coach to win the title, of national champion. That's pretty cool.
I mean, we talk about it in the NFL, like, how hard it is sometimes for black coaches to find jobs. In college football, it's worse. It's just the opportunities do not present themselves all that often, much less at a program like Notre Dame that gives you the opportunity. And while I don't know how much I like this team in terms of their strength, I like Marcus Freeman. I think that he's an incredible coach. I think he recruits really well. You can see it. His guys show up for him. They believe in him. And anytime he asks somebody to go out and make a play, they go and do it. You got to give him credit for that.
So his mom also, by the way, is South Korean. So that would also make him the first coach of Asian heritage to get this far. So, either flag you want to fly, he's flying a couple of them for you. But yeah, he does. He seems like, the kind of coach you'd want to have. He's the kind of coach that he's making more out of less. He's the kind of coach who inspires people to be better than they maybe previously had been. And so, yeah, a lot of respect for him, but not so much respect from Keon in the direction of Marcus Freeman.
Just his team.
That he wants him to win the championship.
Well, no,
unless Texas loses tonight.
I mean, yeah, if Texas loses tonight, then
Marcus Freeman and
bleep Ohio State.
Yeah.
But I obviously have a bias, and like I can be normal about most of my teams. Like even the Commanders, they're in the playoffs. I can be kind of objective about them. I just find it difficult to be objective about the Longhorns. I try my best. I can't do it.
Congratulations,
my heart is there.
Marcus Freeman. But if Texas beats Ohio State tonight, go bleep yourself, Marcus Freeman. Go bleep yourself, Notre Dame. And he's going to just say, I believe, hook them horns.
Yeah, you are correct. You are correct.
No, I know how you do.
Yeah.
I know how you do. And listen, I want Texas to win tonight because I hate the dumbasses. I don't like Ohio State. Never have, never will. So, win-win for everybody if Texas wins tonight. So then there's two teams I don't mind playing in the national championship. Keon will be vehemently against Notre Dame at that moment, but I don't care who wins, to be honest, between those two teams. But I don't know. I'll pick one.
Yeah. I mean,
I think I'd pick Texas. At this moment,
I think I would too. The path that Notre Dame took to get here, and again, like I wasn't a big believer in Penn State either. I felt like regardless of who won the game last night, the team that was going to be playing for the team that would have won the national title is one of the two teams playing tonight, regardless of what happened in that game. It just happens that Notre Dame won it. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Something just struck me. Have you ever been to a square dance?
I have.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Where? When?
Like high school.
Oh, no. Outside of school.
Oh, outside of school? Nah.
They taught us square dancing
exactly
in elementary and stuff. I've never been to a square dance. Why did they teach us this?
I have no idea. I mean, in Texas, they teach you it because people actually do that.
Sorry, the connection is we're talking about Texas and the Longhorns, and I was thinking about having a hoedown. And then all the times we were being taught how to square dance, I thought, oh, well, when I'm growing up, there's probably going to be a lot of hoedowns, going to be a lot of square dances, got a lot of skip to Malou, my darlings. And none of that has happened.
Yeah. Why would it, I guess? Like when you're a kid, you don't realize it. But now that you're an adult, you're like, I guess it's obvious.
Why are you wasting my time with square dancing in elementary school?
We were in gym class, square dancing. And I'm sitting there going, this is a perfectly good day to play some kickball. What are we doing?
Oh, remember the parachute? Oh, I love the parachute.
Everybody loved the parachute.
That was just fun. I wasn't imagining we'd ever start like, hey, let's go parachuting, but that was better than square dancing.
Yeah, it was actually fun.
Sorry, the whole Texas Longhorns hoedown connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And anybody else? I don't know. Anybody else has ever been to an actual square dance? I feel like I could have been a square dance caller. The guy who sits there and tells everybody, and turn to your left and turn to your right. I bet I could have done that. Last Optimist says, went to Covered Bridge Festival in Indiana and was sad I missed the Gaylord Memorial Square Dance. That's a hell of a sentence right there. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot to unpack and unlayer.
And I don't even know where to start.
Beer Bob says, Jeffrey, don't you know that whenever there's a hoedown, you should pick her up? It is a hoedown. Thanks, Beer Bob. Moist one says, O-I-O, and then the Buckeyes get a cakewalk for a championship against fellow Buckeye Marcus Freeman. What's O-I-O? What's an O-I-O? Ohio? Ohio?
Did he mean to throw the H in there for Ohio?
Yeah. Are you trying to spell Ohio? I don't know. The way that Ohio people do stuff is pretty dumb. So I don't try to drag me into this. Pickle D says, yeah, the Diddlers were at it again. And what's this? He says, yeah, here's a shot of Penn State player grabbing Riley Leonard in a place Riley Leonard doesn't want to be grabbed. Oh, right in the crotchal area. When they tackled him, they grabbed him right by the sack.
That's not how you're supposed to tackle people.
You don't sack them by the sack.
No, that's not a good form tackle. No coach would endorse this.
That is a very Penn State kind of thing, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Holy God. Wow. You don't even need a puppet. We've got that picture. Quiet Cannon says, Jeffrey, you do have a great voice to call square dances. Skip to the left, skip to the right. I mean, I could go freestyle on that. But then I start to hear myself sound like, and I don't like country music, so I have to stop. Immediately stop. So, okay, Keon. Okay. So now we've got one part of the national championship. Notre Dame sitting there waiting for whoever wins tonight between Ohio State and the Texas Longhorns. So I guess you're probably not really in a mindset where you can objectively give any sort of analysis on this.
I can't, but what I can do is say, here's what it would look like if Texas won, and here's what it would look like if Ohio State won. That's like the best I can do.
Let me set you up here. Right now, Ohio is favored, and by 5 last time I looked. Okay, so that's the minus
and the line is moving still. I mean,
now I see you on it -6.
This game was like a 1-point game when it opened,
right?
And
now,
the line
why is it moving in favor of Ohio?
I don't know. I think just the way that Ohio State beat Oregon and the way that ASU was able to basically have Texas against the ropes before, a convenient call and a Quinn Ewers touchdown helped Texas get there. So I think that when you look at the way those games played out, maybe there's some people who are underestimating ASU so much that it's actually affected the way that they look at Texas, and the way that Ohio State beat Oregon. I think that's got the momentum on their side as far as the betting goes.
All right. So who's a better quarterback, Quinn Ewers or Howard?
I think it. I mean,
on the stats, it leans towards Howard. He's got more touchdowns, less interceptions, and a couple hundred more yards.
I think Ewers has had the worst year overall, but lately Ewers has looked really, really good. He is more of a gunslinger though. So like there are games where Quinn Ewers is just going to look better, and there are games where Quinn Ewers is just going to look worse. Where of the two guys, Will Howard is the steady quarterback. Okay. He's consistent. He's efficient. He plays smart.
Well, the running situation, your guy Wisner is probably he's got more yards but less touchdowns than Henderson, who but your guy has more carries. So I think, what is that indicating to me? When you've got Henderson with 125 or 6 carries and 10 touchdowns, your guy's got 209 carries, and is that 5 touchdowns?
Yeah, part of it that Texas kind of has a committee of backs. Also, Wisner, kind of took over the running back job over the course of the season. He emerged as the lead back in that group of guys. So it's not necessarily his fault. He just isn't. He just isn't the guy. He's part of a group.
Is that the same story with wide receivers, where Golden is your lead receiver under 1,000 yards, but with 9 touchdowns? Their guy's got 14 touchdowns. Smith with 1,224 yards. Huge difference there. So is it more of a well-rounded passing game for Texas, or is that just his guy right there?
Yeah, because
they don't throw as much.
Golden's the leading receiver, and then also Isaiah Bond is a receiver that stands out for Texas as well. They've got targets. It's kind of an offense that just whoever is the person that is open and available, that's the guy where they're going to go to. Where Jeremiah Smith, look, man, Ohio State, whatever you want to say about them, they are in fact a wide receiver factory. They just put out wide receivers all the time. And Jeremiah Smith is a freshman who, if he were eligible for the draft, would be the first wide receiver off the board. Like that's how good he is. He's just absolutely terrifying. When you look at what they did to Oregon, Oregon had not let up a play all year of anything longer than 38 yards in the air. He had 2 40-yard receptions against them, in that game. I mean, even if you game plan for him, I don't know that you can necessarily contain Jeremiah Smith. You just try to limit him as much as humanly possible. He is absolutely the best wide receiver in this game.
All right. So before we go to break, who has the defensive advantage here?
The defensive advantage, I would say overall defense, I like Texas's defense better. But if you talk about the defensive line and getting pressure on quarterbacks, Ohio State has the advantage. They get more pressure, in against sometimes I think better offensive lines than Texas does. I think Ohio State has something like 47% pressure rate against quarterbacks, where Texas has a really good number. They're like 5th in the nation or something like that, but they're at 27%. So it's a pretty big difference between those defensive lines. So what does Texas do to answer that? Do they get to the quick game? Are they throwing the ball, getting the ball out of Ewers' hands in the backfield? There's going to have to be some answer there to this defensive line. Like front to back, though, I do like Texas defense overall a little better.
All right, Baker's Cocky Hens. Now, keep in mind, Baker's Cocky Hens, he's an Ohio guy.
Mm-hmm.
He says
he's an Oklahoma guy.
Jeffrey, Texas doesn't have the top tier talent that Ohio State does. Ohio State has legit top 5 picks. Texas, maybe first rounders, maybe.
Yeah, not maybe. Texas has like 2 or 3 first rounders, a defensive lineman, and at least an offensive lineman out there. Ewers could have been the other one, and he decided he was going to play himself out of the first round this year. So that's what we're looking at right now, though maybe, a good game, he could play himself back into it. Who knows?
Well, the game is at 5:30 p.m. on the ESPN, and as we said, Ohio State favored -6 right there.
Though Baker is right. If you just look at the whole roster, Ohio State, more 5 stars, more 4 stars. They are deeper.
All right. Should be a good game, at least. That's what you hope for. So we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk some Phoenix Suns, some ASU basketball, GCU basketball, some other sort of things before we, as we always do, sort of slip towards the world of the NFL. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Welcome to Staples.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you save big on tech.
And new posters.
Save on custom printing, too.
And,
a new chair?
A chair. Who has time to sit?
Maybe all your new clients?
Now you're talking.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you'll find huge savings on custom prints, storage, chairs, and tech. And now save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-week challenge. The Metamucil 2-week challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in. The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2025 WM Phoenix Open, February 3rd through the 9th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com. WMPhoenixOpen.com.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Never again will you have to say, I missed that segment. I'm such a dinkus.
He's so lame.
Never miss an important segment, favorite host, or show again. Check out our podcast and listen whenever and wherever you want.
It's the reason Al Gore invented the internet.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. How about that? I'm not used to that lately. Not used to seeing this. Came as a little of a surprise. Shouldn't have come as a surprise, but I'll be honest, came as a surprise. What's this idiot babbling on about over here? Phoenix Suns beating the Atlanta Hawks 123 to 115. And the experiment of, and I don't know whose idea this was, Budenholzer, I guess.
I mean,
having Bradley Beal come off the bench looks like it's working.
Yeah, in 2 out of the 3 games that it's happened, it's been really good games for Bradley Beal and ultimately the Suns. And you can kind of see guys not stepping on each other's toes. Devin Booker even said it after the game. And he's like, the reason why Bradley Beal looks so good with the bench is just because now he knows exactly what his role is out there. He said when you're starting, and he said this is something that he does too. So he wasn't trying to call out Brad, but he was saying, sometimes you shoot a couple of shots and you go, man, I'm out here with KD and Brad. Like, I got to get these guys involved. And that makes you play outside of your game where you'd normally be more aggressive. You're trying not to be selfish. When you have just KD to worry about, then it narrows it down for you. And with Beal was out there on the floor with Grayson Allen, who also had a really good game off the bench as well. And the two of them were just killing it. I mean, the 3-point barrage that can happen when Grayson Allen and Bradley Beal are making shots, it's very effective.
So let's slow down here a bit, because it wasn't just Allen. I guess Kevin Durant and Tyus Jones, they all hit 3 straight threes as part of the reason they won this game. But, okay, so is it the strategy of having Beal come off the bench, or is it just that they were playing the Atlanta Hawks? You see what I'm saying? So how will we know that this whole coming off the bench thing is truly successful?
Well,
who knows? Maybe it has nothing to do with that.
Well, it does to a degree. Because they it's not like they were just winning every other game before. They had a losing streak going, and they're no longer, in a streak of losses. But the name of the game's been consistency for this team. So the only way we'll know is if it continues to work. They've got and it continue to work against bad teams too, because they did just lose to the Hornets, who are also not good. They should have beaten the Hornets. They didn't beat the Hornets. So this is still something, but I don't want to make it seem like this is something we can necessarily rely on. The only way we can know if this is working is if they continue to do it. I believe they have the Jazz tomorrow. They've got to beat the Jazz. The Jazz stink. If you can't beat the Jazz, I don't even know what to say about you at this point. They've just got to continue to do it and continue to play well. Otherwise, I don't know that this thing is working. And I'm not entirely convinced that James Jones and Matt Ishbia believe that this is the way things are now. I think they'd be thrilled if it was. But if it doesn't work out, I do think that they're trying to work behind the scenes to see if they can get Jimmy Butler over here if it doesn't really work.
So I think here's my thought process on that. They want to do that, and they want Beal to sign off on it, and maybe having him coming off the bench is enough of a blow to the ego where he's like, yeah, I want to go somewhere where I'm not coming off the bench.
I don't disagree with you. Mike Budenholzer said the bench thing, that's permanent. We're not, this is not you can earn your way back, because this isn't about earning your way back. Mm-hmm. This seems to be the best version of this team. Even if it works out, then it works out. We're all happy. If it doesn't work out, and you're not happy, then there's a way to solve that problem. And it's called waive that no trade clause and go to, the two trade ideas that I saw floated out there by CBS Sports were involving Detroit in a 3-team deal or involving Houston in a 3-team deal. I think you might much prefer to go to Houston, but we'll see.
I think Budenholzer probably has the release in his pocket. Just literally. At any moment, Beal's like, you want to sign this? Waive the trade clause.
Any moment. Yeah, I think that they're, and Nurkic didn't even play DNP because A, I think Budenholzer just genuinely does not like him, and B, I also believe that they're trying to make sure he doesn't get hurt, because I think they want to trade him too.
Why wouldn't you like him? What do you got against him?
He just hasn't played well this year.
I know,
and a lot of it is effort.
Is he a jerk?
He's not a jerk. He's not a bad guy. But the effort that he had last year versus this year, there are times when he's out there, he's just jogging up the floor, moseying. It looks like if you squint real hard, you could see DeAndre Ayton. Nobody wants to see that. Mike Budenholzer, who coached an effort Bucks team in the past, he definitely doesn't want to see that. Plumlee's basically just replaced Nurkic in the starting lineup. There's no room, I don't think, for Nurkic, especially with the way the rookie Oso Ighodaro has been playing. Ighodaro can play in the small ball lineups. Plumlee can play against the bigger guys. What does Nurkic do?
Why can't we get something done now? Why do we have to wait until closer to the deadline?
Because a lot of teams are trying to make sure that they can't just fix their problems internally or can't get somebody on the cheap. So a lot of times teams just wait until, the teams that they want to trade with are desperate. That's what you're looking for, because then with the desperation means that you can ask for more, get more back in a trade. That's why this stuff always ends up waiting.
All right. Well, okay. So here we are. This is at least the current configuration of the team. One thing I noticed, Devin Booker, 0 of 8 from 3-point range.
The 3-point shooting this year for him has been historically bad. I don't think he's ever had
taking them. He should just stop doing that and start playing his game from mid range and take it to the basket.
Yeah. I don't know if that's something that he's being hard-headed about it, and so he's just shooting them, or if, Budenholzer wants them to shoot threes, so he's just doing what the coach is asking. I'm a little unclear on which is which.
All right, let's shift gears to GCU. I got off the air yesterday, and the game started, and I went about my life, and then I woke up this morning, and I opened up the digital newspaper, and I'm like, what the hell? They lost. They got beat by Utah Valley Wolverines 72-64, and it looked like the Wolverines had the upper hand the entire way. What happened last night?
A combination of poor defense, a slow start, bad rebounding. I mean, they started to surge in the second half, but it was too late. They were down too much. They went into halftime down 11. They got the lead as down as low as 4, but they weren't able to actually catch up and close it out. When they got it down to 4, it was like 3 turnovers in a row or something like that. Like, it was just, they shot themselves in the foot repeatedly. And this lack of execution is just something I'm not used to seeing from a Bryce Drew team. Like that, I don't even know what to tell you. They're not playing the way that they played a year ago with largely the same group of guys.
So time to really worry now, right?
I mean, still no, just because, the conference is so weird and wonky, and no team has really shown that they're a great team this year. The team that figures out whatever it is that they're doing first, whether that's GCU or Utah Valley or Seattle U or somebody else, the team that figures it out first, that team is going to win the conference. And if you win the conference, you're in, regardless of what the rest of this looks like. So GCU just has to figure it out by the time the conference tournament rolls around. They still have the best record in the conference. They still have the best strength of schedule in the conference. They've played the tougher teams. So they can still win this. But like, if they're looking like this closer to conference tournament time, I will then have many, many, many concerns.
All right. Well, a season is a thing, right? So we'll just see what happens next. Here's what happens next tonight for ASU. They're hosting the Baylor Bears at home, 7:30 p.m. on the ESPN Plus. Baylor Bears heavily favored in this contest. What can you tell me about this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, Baylor is just one of those teams that they have all, they've been really good over the last few years of working the transfer portal. I don't think that Baylor is as good or as deep as like that Kansas team was. Like, Kansas is just going to roll people. That's just what they do. Where Baylor, they get a little bit scrappy. It's a little bit more, Memphis Grizzlies grit and grind. And I think that actually plays well more to what ASU does, where it's not so much running up and down the floor. It's not so much having to defend all 5 positions, scoring from inside and outside. Baylor gives them a better chance to win. But again, like, this is one of those things where the offense of ASU has just been so inconsistent that I can't tell you that they're necessarily going to go out there and win. They play good enough defense to make life difficult for Baylor. And I hope they do get that win, because I think that being able to have a good showing in the conference tournament in the Big 12, even without a win of the conference tournament, that could still get you in because of how good this conference is. But you've got to get a win over one of these opponents.
Some other good news came down the pipe for ASU today. They got a 5-star recruit. I think he's 5-star. He's definitely 7 feet tall. I did see that. I just saw it in passing. So if you can find that, you'll know more about it. But yeah, it looked like a good recruit there. It's at least 7 feet, I think. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Frederick Leo Curtis. Center, yeah, which
he's got like a serial killer name right there.
He does. When you got the 3 names, that's
usually
a sign that you've murdered somebody, and hopefully he can do it on a basketball court, not off of it. You hope.
When you're down in Tucson, go ahead, murder away. Yeah, you do what you got to do. All right, so I think we're just about there where we're going to be 100% NFL all the way to the end of this show. We've got our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Picks coming up and lots to talk about as it pertains to Super Duper Wild Card Weekend. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-791-1313. That's 800-791-1313.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. The GCU men's basketball squad is coming off their winningest season in 35 years, their third trip to the NCAA tournament in 4 years, and their first ever NCAA tournament victory. Returning 4 of their 5 starters in Ray Harrison, Colin Moore, Duke Brennan, and reigning WAC Player of the Year Tyon Grant Foster, the Lopes look to defend their WAC titles and make a run to the Sweet 16. With a non-conference slate including Stanford, Georgia, and crosstown rival Arizona State, you won't want to miss a moment of the action. So join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on the home of the Lopes, 1580 The Fanatic. Lopes up.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He'll be back next week. But we got Keon Rose in the control room. Ralph from Harmon Solar is here. You guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Yes, our favorite bandwagon son of a bitch is here and wearing a Rams hat.
Unbelievable
Rams shirt.
Like, have you no shame at all?
He's tilted his camera down, just trying to not show the Seahawk in the background there, but still poking through. Still poking through. Oh my God! So you got your tickets? You're all set? Good.
I do.
good
I have my
seats?
tickets. We're all set. Yeah.
All
I want to thank Donnie for getting me the access code early, so I was able to get in there and grab some seats.
Wait a minute.
So-
How do you get you the access code early?
He had it somehow, some way, and he sent it over to me so I could get in there and grab some seats. And they were cheap. I mean, I got 4 seats that were like $50 each. It was really cheap.
Good for you.
Which they are no longer that.
Yeah.
So,
So
I
you
mean,
said
the cheapest are 108 from last I saw.
you said you spent like $50 a piece for the tickets. Donnie says he spent $80 per ticket for the lower bowl. So
Yeah, I
he
didn't want to go
thinks-
into. I went to the Ring of Honor. I like sitting in the Ring of Honor because there's not a bunch of idiots around you.
like Donnie. Yeah.
Yes. No, I would sit near Donnie.
The
and talk
Ring
to
of
Donnie.
Well, Donnie got you the access code. You
Yeah, I
can't call him an
appreciate
idiot
it.
now.
Yeah,
Oh, but I
appreciate
can. I sure can.
Donnie didn't do anything for Jeffrey, so here we are.
It was a good deed, Donnie. I appreciate it.
So, well, he's wrong because he thinks it's going to be a sea of purple on Monday. But I just took a look, and it turns out the Rams say that 35,000 of their season ticket holders bought tickets to the game here. Now, do the math. 52,000 seats. If 35,000 of those are Rams season ticket holders, and now add Ralph to that and other Rams fans to that from here, I feel like it's going to still be a Rams home game.
Well, I know a lot of people that are coming over from LA, so yeah, I agree with you. And hey, I'm bringing Neil, so that'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have
he
to explain to him what's happening on the
Yeah,
field.
you'll have to explain the game to him as you're watching it.
I'm gonna get him a book called The Football for Dummies, and he can kind of read through it. So
If
I think he's a library of for dummies books, doesn't he?
if he's talking too much and you want him to stop talking, you can always tell him Jeffrey's right behind him.
Hey, just go, hey Jeffrey.
I'll bring a picture
That-
of Jeffrey's head on the stick and just.
At least a quarter and a half. That'll buy you a quarter of a half of silence. You know what I
Jeffrey,
mean?
you could come with us.
Well, we're got to do the show Monday. We're going to be on air.
You can leave early.
I'm all right.
Come on, me, you, Neil. What more could you want?
But you're on the Ring of Honor, which means there's a good possibility of me pushing somebody over the ledge.
So Neil, if he falls, he falls.
If
he
I can get
dies, he
somebody to
dies.
sign a waiver for that, I might do it.
I got waivers.
Yeah, I might do it.
I got all sorts of waivers.
So that is all done and set now. I wonder if they sold out already. I know that the secondary market tickets are probably going to be way
bet you
more
they're
expensive
close.
now.
I bet you they're close.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that's what a bunch of people did. Those guys at resale went and bought a ton of tickets this morning.
Yeah. Well,
it's gonna be fun, man. A playoff game at State Farm Stadium, and you're not gonna get that with the Cardinals. So it was nice to see a game there. That's playoff
hey,
game.
we've had a Super Bowl here or so.
Yeah, but you guys weren't in it, so
Don't you guys me? My
well, you guys will never be.
It's a little unfortunate because the
we just won
Cardinals.
one not too long ago.
In my 3 years of living here, the Cardinals have been in a playoff game in that building. It's just that they got murdered by the Rams while they were there. So now the Rams get to be back and the Cardinals don't.
Should be a little sore spot for Cardinal fans.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah,
I would think so. I would
a
be
little
pissed.
bit.
Yeah,
Their
like, why
home
couldn't
game
you
in
go to
your house.
Vegas? Yeah, why didn't they go to Vegas? By the way,
Nobody
I
wants to
wonder.
go to Vegas. It's too expensive. The hotels.
Yeah,
and
I
everything.
think like you said, the NFL wants to fill this building. Makes more sense to have it here to do that.
I agree.
Get the hotels here cheaper. Like just everything is a little bit more affordable.
It's gonna be fun. That's a cool game on a Monday night.
And
That'll be a fun
Vegas?
If you gamble, the hotels in Vegas are kind of cheap.
game. I think it's easier just to have it here.
Yeah,
It's just simple.
All right. Well, whatever. I don't care.
It's a good stadium. You got great. It's just a good place to have a game.
Means nothing to me, other than I like, oh look, it's Cardinal Stadium. Oh look, there's Ralph throwing a guy off the upper deck. That's interesting. I'll watch it at home. I'll see it at home. So yeah, here in a little bit in this hour we will do our Harman Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. But I don't know. Should we just do it now? I guess we just do it now. I had a bunch of other stuff that I wanted to talk about.
Nobody
That
wants to
can
talk about
wait.
that stuff. Nobody wants to talk about that stuff.
You don't even know what the stuff is.
I'm sure it sucks.
It's about why the Seahawks suck. So
What do you mean?
this won't take long. There's only 6 games. So for us to do our picks is it ain't going to take long. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the standings are after this weekend, because there'll be less and less games every week going forward as we get closer to, the championships and then the Super Bowl. So right now, Vike Sholo has 199 correct. And behind him is Pro Dog and Tony Baloney with 198. Behind them is Illini Champs and C. Bacher with 197. And Brett Maverick. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm in the 10 spot. I don't think there's any chance, even if I get everything right, that I'll be able to take the first spot again. So I'm kind of glad about that, to be honest. It's hard on me to win the money and not get the money. All those years I won it. It's left a dark spot and a stain on my soul.
How many times have you won it?
I think 3.
Come on.
He won it last year and the year before, at least.
He won last year?
Yeah.
I think it was 3. I'd have to go back and look, but that's all right. I can't get the money. I just,
just for pride,
hurts a little bit,
lording it over everybody.
Yeah, sure. So let's do this thing. Let's go ahead and do our NFL fan pick'em picks on Saturday at 2:30 p.m. here on 1580 The Fanatic. That is the first game starts. And listen, all right. I feel like they get better as we go. So keep that in mind. The Chargers taking on the Houston Texans in Houston. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if this is going to be a great game. What kind of game is this going to be, Keon?
I can't tell if it's going to be a good game or not, just because both of these teams, the things that they do well, they do really well. The things that they're bad at, they're near the bottom of the league in. When you look at the Texans, for instance, the Texans have a fantastic defense. It's really, really good. That pass rush is insane. Their secondary is pretty solid. They do a really good job of stopping the run, which that the Chargers want to do. But it's weird because, again, the thing that they're bad at is stopping quarterback runs. Specifically, they are near the top of the league in stopping the run against running backs. When the quarterback is running the ball, the only teams worse than them are the Panthers and the Raiders at stopping those specific kinds of runs. And who's the offensive coordinator of the Chargers? That's Greg Roman. Greg Roman is, you saw
that guy.
Yeah, and obviously he doesn't have Colin Kaepernick and he doesn't have Lamar Jackson, and those are the two best offenses he's ever had. But he runs Justin Herbert a decent amount in certain games, and I think the Chargers kind of figured out, okay, maybe we can get something with this. If they run Justin Herbert really well, I think Justin Herbert's legs actually end up being probably the X factor in this game. If he is able to run, then I think the Chargers probably win fairly easily. I also think that the Texans don't do a great job of defending play action, which the Chargers have been running a lot over the last 3 weeks. They've been very successful with it. They had a lot of success against that vaunted Broncos defense, I think 3 weeks ago. So you're looking at a Chargers team that I think matchup wise, their offense versus Houston's defense is it gives the Chargers the advantage. And then CJ Stroud, I think, is just so much easier to defend this year than he was a year ago because he's less accurate throwing to the sideline than he was. And I think that could wind up being a pretty big issue for the Texans as well. If the Chargers just decide, hey, we'll give you the sidelines because we don't think you can hit it. That's going to be an issue if the Texans can't prove them wrong. So I'll take the Chargers.
All right. So, I'm looking at this. Okay. So these teams, they're not the best of the best. All right. Let's be honest. Houston's just there because they're the best team in a bad division. Chargers. I don't. Here's the thing. It's hard. I like the coach of the Houston Texans. I like DeMeco Ryans. I think there's potential there. And then I look over at the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert. Don't care for the coach, Jim Jerkface Harbaugh, but you have to be impressed with the fact he shows up and his very first season back in the NFL. Bam, they're in a playoff. DeMeco Ryans got his team in the playoffs. So, there's a lot of positives here, but I'm not honestly that impressed with either of these teams.
I'm a little impressed with the Chargers. They are the second best team in a tough division, the AFC West. That's 3 AFC West teams in the postseason.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Chargers because you have a more experienced coach, even though, just in general. I like Herbert is a solid quarterback, and you got a little bit of a rookie smell to the other team here and there. I just feel like all around this should be the Chargers game to lose. What do you say, Ralph?
I'm all about the Charger G. I agree with everything that Keon said. I love their defense. I think that front defensive line is going to have a field day against a pretty bad Houston offensive line. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, I think Bosa might go off. Who's the other guy? Tui Pelotu, I think is his name. And Khalil Mack. I just think the Chargers are going to dominate this game on the defensive front end. And I think they're good enough offensively with the way they run. And Herbert can spread the ball around enough to really have a good impact against a porous Texans defense. I'm taking the Chargers. I like the Chargers in this game. I think they're better than you think they are. And they could actually do some damage in the playoffs. So I'm going to take the Chargers.
So you think that they might actually move on even beyond this?
It's possible. I mean, I think it's a really good team with a good defense and a great coach with a lot of experience.
I think we all three just picked the Chargers, didn't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Quick on the text line. Last Optimist says, does Deshaun Watson tearing his Achilles this week in Miami count as a non-football injury? And maybe that voids his contract? Well, it was originally injured in October. So
and
I
it
don't
was in
think
the
it
process of rehabbing that same injury. So
yeah,
my
when
guess
you're
is,
working on that injury and it pops again, they'll count it under the same thing. I'd like to see him try to fight that.
Oh, it's pretty funny. There's karma, and then there's whatever is happening to him, and I like it.
I'm enjoying it. I'm happy it happened.
Having a good time.
The Jet says, "Does Keon still love me? I was just firing up yesterday. I don't think he thinks about you, Jet. I don't think that's."
I'm trying. What did you say? I don't remember.
See, that's what I'm saying.
We walk out of this building and it's a clean slate. Unless you say something that like really ticks me off, in which case I will hold on to that until the day I die. I don't think you said that though, because I genuinely can't recall what you said. So we're still good.
Day you die. Jeez.
Fighting Wampa says, Happy New Year's, guys. Maybe with the Rams being the home team, it'll make more sense to have them play in a stadium where they play once a year. You know, I'm more familiar with the stadium. Give the best chance of having a home field advantage. I don't think it matters.
And their fans are just physically closer.
Yeah, that's what matters. It's not about the building. It's not about having been here, familiarity. None of that matters. What matters is going to be the fans. That's the biggest thing that'll matter. Turd Ferguson says, hey, I never broke it in bragging that I beat everyone in my fantasy football league. I just want to say congratulations to me. He says, hey, by the way, Turd, you got to send me an email with your address so we can send you the $100. You're the last one before I turn in all the information to Harmon Solar. So you're holding everybody else's money up, Turd. So
not me.
Get on that email. Send it in. Last Optimist says, I just read that the Cardinals are allowing the poor Rams to borrow 2 of the Cardinals team planes to get their staff and gear to Phoenix. That is a true story. That is true.
That's nice.
Bidwell can be pretty nice when he wants to be, right? I mean, as long as you're not like a woman or a minority. Outside
or
of
one
that,
of his employees. Yeah.
Right. That works for him. As long as you don't work for him.
Wow.
If the reports are to be believed. Great.
Allegedly. Bruno Baller says, do you guys know how the whole revenue thing works for the game now being in Glendale instead of Los Angeles? Do the vendors get the beer? Do they all get to keep the money? Any income on this is probably going to go to the Rams. I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure right. That would be the way it should be.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be some splits. I'm sure they've already worked this out. I'm sure the Cardinals organization is going to get a little something for the effort. Rams will get something for it. And then it all goes in that pile called the NFL, and all the teams share from the pile. So nobody's going to be poor, Bruno Baller, but some accountants will have some conversations. That's about it. Moving on to the next game in Baltimore, the Ravens hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this has the makings of a good game because look, John Harbaugh, amazing coach. Mike Tomlin, amazing coach. Lamar Jackson, amazing quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't even go. I can't say. Okay, I'm all right.
Just say
He's so cringy. He's so cringy.
Yeah,
he's good,
but that doesn't
he's
matter.
Okay.
He
ain't as good as he used to be.
He's 36.
You don't play the game with your cringe. You play the game with your arm. So like,
Cringy's arm ain't what it used to be, and neither is his play. Neither is his football brain when he decides, I'm going to stay in bounds instead of run out of bounds on that last game where he almost lost him the whole damn thing.
I wouldn't say his arm isn't what it used to be. He still throws a really nice deep ball.
Wait,
it's
did
his
they lose the
legs.
last
aren't-
game?
He's
his
still pretty
legs
accurate.
aren't
Yeah,
what
they did lose the last game.
Yeah, they lost the last game because of his dumb staying in bounds.
You can't put the whole game on in one play.
I can at that moment when out of bounds, chance to win. In bounds,
get
it's
it.
over.
He made a mistake, but I mean, I'm not going to blame one player on one play.
Yeah, like because sometimes I mean, in the heat of the moment, guys make mistakes, and even the best quarterbacks have made mistakes. So I mean,
Cringy.
Sure. I just care about the football stuff. He is cringy. I agree. It's just not.
Well, guess what? That was the football stuff. Not getting out of bounds. But
Yeah,
all
but
right,
that's
listen.
the one play. Like the way
Listen.
he played the rest of the day was good. I mean, when you look at the numbers for how he played the rest of the day, Russell Wilson throwing, first off a play action and throwing to the seam. He was 10 for 10 throwing off a play action. He was 13 of 13 throwing to the seam. Like the guy, when he's got the right play call, is still executing.
Is that like the inseam or is it?
No, not the Randy White inseam. The seam route.
Okay, just try to check
on a football field.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens because they have just so many weapons and they're firing on all cylinders. Yeah, I mean, listen, if Pittsburgh had a better quarterback, I don't know, I would really have a hard time here, but I'm going with Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, MVP quality year. Derrick Henry running the ball and making you have to think about, okay, who's coming? Is it Derrick? Is it Lamar? Oh my God, they're throwing. There is a downside. Zay Flowers, dinged up, ain't going to play. But you got Mark Andrews still out there. You still have weapons. I just think they have too many good offensive pieces. Baltimore is my pick. What's your pick, Ralph?
Well, you're putting it all on a bad quarterback. If you watch that last game, like the Steeler game, I mean, it wasn't Russell Wilson that was dropping every pass. I mean, he was throwing balls that were nice, and they weren't catching them. I mean, otherwise, that's a different game. They win that game, so you can't put that on him.
Well, then okay, I'll put it on the receivers. Same
you have
outcome.
He's played really well this year, I think. I mean, again, he is not what he used to be because he doesn't have the same legs he used to have, but I mean, he still has a big arm and he's still got a good head, even though he made one bad play. You're going to make a bad play once in a while. It's fine. My bigger concern is the 4 games in a row they've lost going into the playoffs. They're backing into the playoffs, and they haven't looked good in the last 4 weeks. That's my bigger concern.
Why? What do you think is wrong?
What do I think's wrong?
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I mean, I don't watch them close enough to tell you.
I think really what's wrong is that they played playoff caliber teams, of which they are playing another one right now. And by the way, those are the only teams in the playoffs. They lost to the Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, and then the Bengals, who were just outside the door. Like they're just they played a lot of great offenses. And if you have to go stride for stride with some of these offenses, I just don't think the Steelers have the firepower.
Yeah, I mean, George Pickens has to be better than he was last week for them to have a chance. That's the bottom line. I have to take the Ravens. I mean, how can you not? But I'm not going to be surprised if the Steelers win this game. But I'm going to take the Ravens because they should win this game. But their defense is kind of suspect as well. So, I mean, if Russell could have a really good game against them, and it could just be a really high-scoring game, and we'll see who finishes at the end. I like Lamar Jackson in the prime of his career versus Russell Wilson at the end of his career, but still playing well.
All right, Keon, is it going to be unanimous? Taking the Ravens, taking the Steelers?
We've got another unanimous. I am going to take the Baltimore Ravens, and I know that there's a lot of good things for the Steelers happening in this game. Like the Zay Flowers thing does help them a little bit. The Steelers play a lot of man coverage. They play a lot of single high. Zay Flowers would make that an issue, and I think that not having that means that the guy that can rip the top off of that defense isn't necessarily there. If Rashad Bateman can step up and be that guy, well, maybe the Ravens don't necessarily miss a beat there. But like you said, they've got targets, they've got weapons. I think they're going to be okay, but this is going to be a fairly close game. I don't think that this is going to be a blowout. The 4 out of the last 5 matchups featuring John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin, the underdog has covered all of those games. So like you're these two teams just
because it's 10.5.
Yeah, and I think that
in
number's
favor of Baltimore.
I think that number's too big. I think the betting market, the betting public is on Baltimore as they should be. But at 10.5, I don't think that that's going to be the outcome of this game necessarily. But I do think that the Steelers do have a problem trying to figure out how to stop Lamar Jackson at the height of his powers. Lamar, when he's running the football really well, opens up lanes for Derrick Henry. And, we see how that tends to go. But I do think that George Pickens being in this game is going to help them because he wasn't in the last one that they lost.
All right. So unanimous Baltimore beating the Steelers in Maryland this weekend. Baker's Cocky Hen says Steelers played juggernauts like the Browns. Yeah. Thundar the San Barbarian says, as a Broncos fan, I'm okay with Russell Wilson being good at Pittsburgh. I'm happier with Bo Nix. Didn't expect my guys to beat the Bills, but feeling better about the future than I was under our previous quarterback.
Yeah, he just doesn't fit.
Couldn't even say the name. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, he fits better in Pittsburgh, clearly, than he does in Denver. And I think him leaving Denver was a win for both. I think it was a win for him because he gets to go to a situation where the offense is built around him and his strengths and what he does. And Sean Payton, who just wants a guy to show up and run his offense, drafted the guy that's going to show up and run his offense.
Yep. All right, listen, we've only done 2 games so far in Super Duper Wild Card Weekend. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll get the other 4. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-week challenge. The Metamucil 2-week challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harman Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. 1, visit harmansolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call. 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmansolar.com.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in. The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2025 WM Phoenix Open February 3rd through the 9th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com. WMPhoenixOpen.com.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Saturday, it's NFL football on the Fanatic.
Saturday at 6, the Steelers travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens in an AFC North battle. The Ravens blew out the Steelers in Week 16. Will the Steelers enact revenge on their rivals, or will the Ravens MVP candidate Lamar Jackson carve up the Steelers again to move on? Steelers at Ravens, Saturday at 6.
You're home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Killer Rabbit, don't make me read this. He says, as a Broncos fan, we believe. You guys are going to lose the playoff game just for that right there. Just that text will be the singular reason that the Broncos don't beat the Bills. It'll have nothing to do with the fact that it's the Bills. Okay, it's going to have everything to do with the fact it's the Bills. But still, your dumb pun right there. You should be ashamed of yourself. So, yeah, because of Killer Rabbit, I'm picking the Bills to beat the Broncos 183-2. That's it. Nothing else. The end. Done. Do you guys even feel like picking this game now, or did Killer Rabbit ruin it for you?
No, he didn't ruin it.
He didn't ruin it.
I feel like he ruined it for me.
He's a Bronco fan. He's excited.
I mean,
Shouldn't be.
He should be excited. I'm not going to forgive the bad pun, but the excitement's. I understand that.
They don't have a chance in hell at winning in Buffalo.
It ain't about the chance.
You should. I mean, getting there is still a pretty big accomplishment. You've got a rookie quarterback under center who started off the season looking like, I don't know about this guy. And by the time we got to
their plane, the USS Moral Victory.
By the time we got to week 7 or week 8, it was great. They've got a fantastic defense, and look, like. You don't hope for injuries, but like if Josh Allen goes down, like all of a sudden they do have a chance. Like, let's not act like the game's just over already. If they're healthy, yeah, the Bills are winning this game, but that's why we play the games, because we don't know who's going to make it from quarter 1 to quarter 4.
Yeah, they're going to win. You've chosen them to win. You know, even trying to be nice about it.
Yeah,
Ralph?
but I'm just saying that I don't like saying things like that for a foregone certainty, just because the NFL's a tough league to win in.
I picked him, so it's a foregone certainty. Because I say so. That's why.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's like I told Phil. Phil's a big Broncos fan, right? And I told him, I said, he didn't want to make the playoffs. I said, you want to make the playoffs? I said, because you want your young guy who's been really good since about week 7 against the Raiders. He's really started to show you something. He's had a great season, but give him that experience of a playoff game, you know, to feel the energy of it, to see how the play elevates. This is a great thing for Bo Nix. I think it's going to help his future.
And there are definitely a lot of guys, I think a lot of young quarterbacks in particular, when they get that taste of the postseason early, they really want to go back.
Yeah,
and now
exactly.
you've got a guy that you can motivate. Like, hey, you want to get back there? You want to get back there with a real chance to win? This is what you've got to do this summer to really work. Yep. So you want to be there, and you're playing the Bills in Buffalo. It's
can't get better than that.
It can't get better than that. And again, you're always 1 or 2 plays involving an injury from actually winning the damn thing. Like, what? Show up and play.
Yeah, if Josh Allen goes down for some reason,
that's the offense. I mean, the Bills are running basically the Bel Air Academy offense. It's Josh Allen's ball. Get out of the way. So I think that's because it's so Josh Allen centric. Like, there's no reason for you to act like you're defeated before you even play the game. That being said, I think that this is probably like the worst matchup that the Broncos could have pulled. Because as good as their defense is, the way that they play defense is essentially, we've got Patrick Surtain. We take him, we put him on your best receiver, and you're screwed. The Bills kind of don't have that problem, again, because Josh Allen is actually the guy that moves that entire offense, because the offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, I think does probably the best job in the league of getting the ball out of his quarterback's hands behind the line of scrimmage. So you're trying to get that pass rush going and get at Josh Allen, and all of a sudden James Cook has the ball and he's down the field 17 yards. Like that really doesn't work in favor of the Broncos. And also you have like Riley Moss as your second corner. He's very good. He's a very good corner. But is he Patrick Surtain? No. So Patrick Surtain takes away who? Amari Cooper? You still got Khalil Shakir. You still got Keon Coleman. Like these are guys that can absolutely take advantage of him. I imagine that the Broncos are going to try and find a way to get Keon Coleman on him a lot because of the size mismatch there. Coleman's just a big dude. He's going to box him out and really make him look bad. Like, I think the Broncos would rather have played defense against literally any other AFC team. It's kind of just unfortunate draw.
Yeah. Well, I got the Bills. You got the Bills. I know Ralph's got the Bills.
No, I do. I have the Bills. I'm excited to see Bo Nix, though. I'm a Bo Nix fan, have been all season. I want to see him have a good game. I think he's going to be a heck of a quarterback in this league. So, yeah, but you got to take the Bills. This is Josh Allen's time. I think this may be the year. We're going to see. But that team looks really good.
All right, so the Bills all the way around, but Keon and Ralph think it's going to be a game. So maybe I will wake up early that day. Killer Rabbit says, oh, my God, Keon, if Josh gets in a car wreck going to the stadium now, nice prediction. Yeah, we're sitting here.
Who said that? I said on the field. I'm like, what? He rolls his ankle.
Yeah, but
he's
if
out for a quarter. you were the one that said car wreck.
Out of there, you're going to feel bad.
You're the one that put that on him. I was thinking like a sprained ankle. What were you thinking?
Swave Dave says, I saw a picture of Lamar Jackson this past week. Does anyone else think he resembles Samuel L. Jackson? No. What are you talking about? Not even close.
I don't see it. No.
Have you seen many black people? They don't. What? How do you?
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how you got to that particular conclusion, but
no idea. No idea what he's talking about here. No, they different eyes, different face. They're just not even close, Swave Dave. Devil Hawk says, is Ralph going to the game on Monday? Yes, he is.
Yes, I am.
Will we get a Weekend Warrior show live from Glendale?
You'll probably get some live stuff, yeah.
How?
It's called a phone.
Oh, you're going to call us?
I can
on social media.
I can call you, or I can put text in. Your show's over at 6, though.
It's over.
The game starts at 6.
We're airing the game,
so Ralph would be able to give us like pregame.
I'll give you a pregame. I can give you how the fans are doing, what it looks like, who's got more fans here. I can give you all that if you want. I'll call in around 5 o'clock.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's do it. Okay, that's cool. That's fine.
Jeez. It's like I wasn't pulling your arm or anything.
No, I don't know. We'll see.
That's okay. Yeah.
Time permitting. Lost Toby says the game is going to be Bo Ring. Okay, that's enough, Toby. Baker's Cocky Hen says Broncos winning would be unbelievable. No, that would be an unbelievable upset. You're not wrong. Same as Steelers beating the Ravens. I mean, Keon thinks there's more of a chance probably of Steelers beating the Ravens than Denver beating the Bills, but
hey, Harbaugh and Tomlin know, like those teams know each other so well. They've upset each other in the playoffs a bunch of times. Like that's just how the AFC North works, man.
Hefty Lefty says the biggest thing the Broncos need to do is have that number one team in total sacks get the job done. I slightly disagree with the Bills being the worst matchup, though. Ravens already proved that the Broncos could do almost nothing to stop them. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The Jet says, are we still doing the Harmon Solar fan pick'ems in the playoffs? Yes, we're doing it all the way through to the Super Bowl. We tell you this every year. Every year we tell you this. And you got to keep going. Moist One says, let's see, Lamar Jackson, Samuel L. comparison. Actually, that's been circulating for a while. So now you sent me some pictures. Nah. So so the pictures of Lamar Jackson, he does look like that all the time. The pictures you're using for that comparison, they're not what Samuel L. Jackson looks like all the time. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I still don't get it. Swave Dave says, oh, never mind. Latina Leprechaun says, I like the Bills to win against Denver. Next to my Cardinals, I like the Bills. Josh Allen is a dreamboat. Please don't make me say stuff like that out loud.
You'll just stop reading your texts.
Yeah, please don't do that. Ringless Joe, you're right.
Or at least those texts.
Montgomery is coming back for the divisional round, but guess what we're not talking about right now? We're not talking about the Detroit Lions because they're on a bye week. So sit down, shut up, look pretty, and wait till I talk to you.
Should have lost to the Vikings if you wanted us to talk about you this week. But you didn't.
Yeah, what were you thinking? Hefty Lefty says Lamar looks like Lamar. Sam looks like, well, he kind of looks like a snapping turtle. All right, that's fair. Baker's Cocky Hen says, how many tiebreakers are there going to need to be with only one handful of games to pick for the weekly prize on the picks there? I don't know, man. In fact, I don't know if there are weekly prizes in the playoff rounds. I gotta ask Radio Ron.
I thought there wasn't.
I don't know. Yeah, because we've been giving out those $50 gift cards to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. I don't know if last year we didn't do that going on into the later rounds. I have to find out. Good question. Sir Drives a Lot says Josh Allen is a kind of person I'd like to stick my tongue in his ear.
What the heck?
Wow, Sir Drives a Lot. That's really kind of weird of you. Why would you want that?
That's odd.
Huh. What he really typed was Josh Allen is a dreamboat trying to get me to say it. So instead, I made it look like Sir Drives a Lot wants to stick his tongue in Josh Allen's ear. See how that works?
Yeah. That's the risk you take when you when Jeffrey says I don't want to say a thing and then you text in the thing.
Come at me, bro.
the words leave your phone, but they have to come out of somebody else's mouth. And if they don't want to say it, they ain't gonna say it.
What's next?
Ask all the U Arizona fans.
Yeah.
When they've tried to,
It's always
to promote
go
their
ASU.
team. Yeah. It just magically turns into that. Who can say?
Most of them figure it out. Wilbur still tries.
Yeah. Well, last
Last
taste.
Optimist says, waiting for the Rams to ask for All-State Farm signage be covered up for Monday's game. Nah, they're not going to do that. Latina Leprechaun says, speaking of dreamboats, will Scott Engel, my king, be on with playoff analysis? Yeah, no. I keep forgetting I got to get with him and talk about. I think he wants to do basketball stuff, so we might be doing that later on.
Really?
I just keep forgetting to get with him
because he does the fantasy basketball
Got
too.
a basketball type of head too. So
It's shaped like a basketball.
it's just bald.
Oh, I see.
Very smooth.
I thought you meant like he's got stitching. Just like
I mean, we could get it tattooed for him if you'd like.
I'm sure we could pay for it. I don't think he's going to sit for it.
I'd pay for it.
Killer. It doesn't matter who pays for it. He ain't going to sit for it.
I'll hold him down.
You'll have to kidnap him.
Yeah, Latina Leprechaun could hold him down.
All right. So you and Latina Leprechaun.
I don't think she'd have to
tattoo his head.
I think she'd just have to ask.
Well, she's the lure. She's the bait.
Yeah. In fact, if you just got Latina Leprechaun to ask,
whatever she says,
he'd probably do it. Yeah.
He'll sit down in the chair. She'll pretend to put some fuzzy restraints on him, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Wait a second, these are real." And then there goes the tattoo.
These are real.
Yeah, the handcuffs, because
Oh! I wasn't sure where we were going
for
with that.
sexy time. The fuzzy handcuffs generally aren't real. They're just for fun. But if they're real, now you're screwed.
You got a dark side, don't you?
I read a lot. Killer Rabbit says biggest problem is the Broncos beat the Chiefs so bad. False hope.
That game didn't count.
Yeah,
come on. That wasn't. They did play earlier in the year though, and Bo Nix had a decent game against them. So
I'm pretty sure I saw interns out there. Beer Bob says, so State Farm Stadium will host a playoff game Monday night. But don't worry, Cardinals fans. It'll feel like a home game for the Birds since the stadium will be filled with fans from other teams.
Jeez. That's messed up. But true.
That's true. It's fair. It's true and fair. You have to admit it.
It is pretty true.
Cardinal fans sell their tickets. That's it. Cardinal fans sell their tickets. Cardinal fans make money. So I respect that. It's a bad look.
You might not be winning on the field, but you're winning at the bank, and that's not bad either.
Ringless Joe says, who'd you guys choose for the Vikings-Rams game? You realize we do this stuff in order, Joe. We do it in order.
We have not yet gotten to that game.
We got 3 more games to do. We've done only 1 game in this entire segment. I don't know why. We're easily distracted.
Yeah, and the thing is, we've got 6 games, so I just think that we're even more likely to be distracted because now we don't feel like we have to
We
rush.
don't feel rushed. But I'll tell you what, by the time this hour is done, you will find out who we choose on that game, and it will be the last game we do. So let's take a break. We'll come back and try to wrap this up with the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Super Duper Wildcard Weekend picks. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? It seems impossible to find them. Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Water is Arizona's most valuable resource. And for over a century, Phoenix has led the way in providing reliable water services. Wherever you call home in Arizona, we all share the responsibility to conserve for tomorrow. Watch your water use, especially outdoors. Consider desert-friendly landscaping and water-saving appliances. Together, small changes can make a big difference. Learn more at phoenix.gov/water and help secure Arizona's water future. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix Water Services Department.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish, 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need.
This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hidden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Now, you can be the guy that eventually gets bits and pieces of the latest news, or you can get the whole story when it breaks. The NFL is always in season here.
That's how we do it.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Well, we're halfway through. Kind of like to see us get completely through, so we'll pick up the pace on our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks. Okay, so the Philadelphia Eagles at home against the Green Bay Packers. I feel like this might be our last game that we all pick that is we're all picking the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I think this will be the last one. I mean, I'm picking the Eagles. You're picking the Eagles.
I am not picking the Eagles.
Everybody's picking the Eagles.
I am not picking the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts is back. AJ Brown is playing. So I don't know. Okay, let's hear. What is your hang up there with the Eagles? How do you see Green Bay Packers going into Philadelphia and beating the Eagles?
Philadelphia is like a tough place to play, but it's not an impossible place to play. It's not like going into Denver or Seattle.
It's a home game. Every little bit counts.
It all helps. Yeah, but that's not my determining factor. It's like if I'm not sure, then I'm like, who's home? And I think that when it comes to this particular game, Jalen Hurts is playing, and I think that seems most likely to play. But I think that 2 weeks of not practicing and playing, that there may be a slow start there for the Eagles, where I think the Packers, who as an offense have been very consistent, very reliable. Jordan Love doesn't turn over the football. I think he's riding something like a 7-game streak of no interceptions. He doesn't make the mistakes that give the Eagles life. You take away Jaden Reed, but this is still a deep wide receiver team. Like, Jaden Reed's already not like a true number one. The Packers have a bunch of number twos. Like, that's the thing that makes them, that kind of puts a cap on their ceiling. But it also means that if you take away any one of those receivers, they're not exactly just toast. They still have Romeo Doubs to throw to. They still have Dontavian Wicks to throw to. They still have the tight end Tucker Kraft, who's had an incredible year. I think like 800-yard receiving season. I like their offense. I like how steady their offense is. Matt LaFleur is one of the better offensive coaches in the NFL, and their defense is fantastic. That's the other part of this too. So do I think that this is suddenly a game where, they're going to be giving up tons of yardage? Not really. They haven't done it all year, and they've defended the pass and the run very well. The Eagles also have a really good defense, more shaded towards defending the run well. But if Jordan Love protects the football and this game is close, I'll take the Packers.
Got to take the Eagles because Saquon Barkley. Got to take the Eagles because of Jalen Hurts. You got to take the Eagles because They might be pretty good at stopping those things, but this is a whole different kind of animal. Who do you got, Ralph?
I'm not sure about Jordan Love. Like Keon's right.
He's off the injury list.
He hasn't. What I mean by that is he hasn't turned the ball over in 7 games. You're right, but he turned the ball over 11 times in the first 8 games. And if you look at the last 3 games, they haven't been very good. They've been pretty bad, actually. They haven't been very good games. He hasn't shown me much.
Correction. I'm sorry. I didn't interrupt you. I thought I saw something. I saw it wrong. Aaron Jones is still on the injury list.
Okay.
So sorry, nothing to do with this.
And I see where Keon's coming from, but the one thing that kills me about the Packers, what takes me off them, is if you look when they played good teams like the Lions, Vikings, and Eagles, they're 0-5 against them this year. That's where they lose me. They haven't been able to beat a good team, the real good teams, especially the ones they need to beat in the playoffs. So that's a problem for me. Those 3 teams, 0-5.
Will they show up?
I don't think they do. You have to go with the Eagles at home. I love Saquon. Should I say Saquon Barkley?
Saquon.
I like Saquon, but I'm going to say Saquon.
Either way, I guess.
Yeah.
We know who you're talking about.
Look, I just love the guy. I think I'm so happy for the year he's had and how he gave the big FU to the Giants. I just think it's awesome. I just think he's a great running back. I think he will have a big part in this game because he'll be able to break his runs and do a few things against the Packers defense. And Jalen Hurts, if he's healthy, I don't know how healthy he is, but if we get the better version of Jalen Hurts, it just makes Barkley better.
That's my doubt, right?
Yeah, I knew that's what your doubt was going to be.
If Jalen Hurts had been playing this whole time, I'm taking the Eagles. I don't even think about it. I don't know that we're going to get the best version of Jalen Hurts with the time that he's missed.
If he's just there, he's a threat, and I think that helps Barkley.
It does.
That's what I think. So that's why I'm taking the Eagles. But I think this is a really good game. But I'm gonna take the Eagles.
Well, they're all in the playoffs, so there should be either really good game or somebody put up a really decent fight. So next up is Keon's game. He's the only one of us that has. And you shut up about the Rams. You shut your face. You shut your bandwagoning face about that. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home against the Washington Commandos. Got to keep reminding yourself that Jaden Daniels is a rookie. That is, I think, a pretty good factor on how I look at things, even though he's shown a lot of poise. He's shown a lot of talent. He's shown a lot of ability, but he's still a rookie. So, Ralph, how does that play into your pick, and who do you have on this one, Commandos versus Buccaneers?
It really doesn't play into it because he just doesn't look like a rookie. He doesn't look like anything's against him. I love that kid. I mean, it just looks like nothing phases him. He just goes out there and plays the game and has fun, right? He reminds me of, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but RG3. I thought when RG3 came out, he was just an amazing player.
Rookie year RG3 was insane. Yeah.
He was unbelievable, right? That rookie year. And this is kind of what I see with Jaden Daniels. He looks just like this. Now, hopefully he has a better go forward than RG3 did. I hope he doesn't get hurt. But I like him. I like Baker Mayfield too, though. I think he's had an amazing season. I think the Buccaneers are a very good offensive team. They can put points on the board. They can also give up a lot of points. And Daniels can score a lot of points. I'm gonna go with the Commanders. And only because of Jaden Daniels. I just like his demeanor. I like that he's probably gonna take this game very seriously. He's gonna step his game up a bit. He's gonna try to get himself in playoff mode. And I just think they're gonna eke out this game.
I can't root for anybody in this game. I like Jaden Daniels, and I like what the Washington Commandos have become. But also, you got to have respect for Baker Mayfield and his toughness and this team and what they've been able to accomplish. It's been a fun team to watch. I mean, look, you got Mike Evans over there. So when I watch this game, I'm just watching for really good football. I'm not even going to be watching, I hope that guy wins. I hope that guy wins. I want to see him have a great game. I know that sounds very Jill Biden of me, but I have to pick somebody. So going to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home at my peril. I get it. There's a lot of reasons why the Washington Commandos are in the playoffs, but there's a lot of reasons why the Buccaneers are too. I'm going with experience. Going to go with experience on the coach. I'm going to go with experience I know Quinn's got tons, but I'm just, as things are at this moment with this squad, I got to go with the Buccaneers. Keon?
Yeah. I'm going to take the Commanders. My palms are sweating while I'm saying this because this game has got my anxiety.
So your palms are sweaty, mom spaghetti? Is that what's
happening? Something like that. Yeah. the anxiety's through the roof because like this is going to be a close game, and I feel like it's going to be a shootout, which I'm not particularly comfortable with because this team has given me about 4.5 heart attacks this season in games that they actually won, not even counting the ones that they lost. So I do think that the one thing they have going for them is that they somehow finish these games where they're in shootouts. You know, they got into a shootout with the Bengals and won it. They got into a shootout with the Eagles. They won one of those. They lost the other one of those. They find a way at the ends of games. And when they're in the fourth quarter, Jayden Daniels is actually the best quarterback in football when it comes to throwing touchdowns in the fourth quarter, which I saw that stat and was crazy to me. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers have been in a bunch of shootouts too because their defense doesn't stop anything. And they lost all 5 of them, and I think that, one with the overtime and the Chiefs, the coin flip, Pat Mahomes gets the ball, they never see it again. But even the other 4, they just didn't close out those games the way that they should have. And I think in a shootout, the Buccaneers just have this tendency to kind of shoot themselves in the foot a little bit. I'll lean towards the Commanders, and it makes me nervous to say it. Doesn't feel right.
Ought to be fun.
Given the last 27 years of my life, it doesn't feel right.
I think we're going to have like a group chat on Sunday night. I think we should have a group
I don't know how responsive I'm going to be in that. I already feel like I want to vomit.
Well, I create at least a 2-person group chat with Ralph every time the Seahawks lose. So
that's true. You do.
Yeah.
My heart rate is already high because I've got Texas over here on this screen. This is already making me feel.
That doesn't start for another 40 minutes.
They keep showing them on the screen, and it's making me.
And you're like, it's my team.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hey, your team's there. Be happy.
I know. I'm happy, but also anxious.
Here, Bob says, as long as Dan Quinn doesn't have the Commandos up 28-3 in the third quarter, yeah, I think they got a chance to win this.
It does help that Tom Brady's not on the other sideline, too. So
Big George says, I hope the Commanders win. And Jayden Daniels moves on. He's going to be one of the best quarterbacks out of this draft, much to the chagrin of Ralph and Caleb Williams. Ringless Joe says, don't count out the Packers. I hate the Packers, but they became the first 7th seed wild card to ever win last year against the Cowboys. They've been here before, and they've won against the odds.
Yeah, they were a touchdown underdog in that game.
But it was the Cowboys.
Kyle G. Well, yeah, that's.
Yeah, but it was.
There's the water on the fire. Right there.
Sure, but that was still a loaded team, man.
Kyle G says, I really hope my Packers show up and make it a good game, but yeah, we're likely losing, potentially by a lot. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is a perfect example of the reverse jinx. Nicely performed by Kyle G. Last Optimist says, when I had the Cardinals season tickets, I'd attempt to sell about 1 game a year that I couldn't attend. Half the time, the tickets would not sell. So wasn't making any money selling my tickets.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So that's a good idea, though. You sell a one big game, pays for your tickets, and then you go all the rest of the time. That's what I would do. All right, we don't have enough time, I don't think. I don't think we have enough time to talk about the Rams and the Vikings. We're running out of time here at the top of the hour. We probably have to spill this over into the next hour. Or is it that quick and easy to pick this game?
I don't think it's quick and easy. I think this is the best game.
It's going to be a good game. I don't know if it's the best game.
I still think Steelers. I think Steelers Ravens is probably the best game, but this one's the next one for me.
Well, I'm looking forward to Packers and Eagles, and I guess Ralph is paying to go see if this is the best game.
I just want to be at a playoff game. I've only been in one in my life, and I like to go to playoffs. So, the only playoff game I've ever gone to is when the Raiders were playing the Jets back when Mark Gastineau was playing.
Oh my God! Wow. That shows us you're very old.
At the Coliseum.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that when you were with Bridget Nielsen?
I guess, yeah.
You could see her from the cheap seats.
And I was a Jets fan pulling for the Jets, in that game because I was with a bunch of my cousins from New York. And, man, it was ugly walking out of that stadium. The Raider fans are just not friendly.
Yeah, you don't wear other stuff with them around. It's bad idea.
At the Coliseum.
bad idea.
Big mistake.
Saw a bunch of fights walking out because I saw a guy get stabbed. It was fun.
Jesus. Stabbed?
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
I've seen 2 stabbings in NFL games. That was the first one.
What was the other one?
The other one was a Seahawks Chargers game.
That doesn't seem like two teams that would be stabby.
You wouldn't think so, right? But this one Charger guy was just not a nice guy. He broke out a knife and just stabbed him.
Well, of course, it's the guy from there. Yeah, it wouldn't be a guy from Seattle.
No, they don't carry knives in Seattle.
No, man. It's peace, love, dope.
Peace and love, baby.
Yeah. Ringless Joe says, those Cowboys had a good record and were a way better team than this year's version, Ralph. Don't you count them out.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we not counting out?
I don't know.
Because you can count out the
The
Cowboys.
Packers. I think he's
Already-
talking about the Packers.
Okay, yeah.
I'm counting them out.
I counted them out.
I didn't, but it is what it is.
I'm not sold on Jordan Love, and he's looked so bad the last 3 weeks.
I don't think he's looked that bad.
I'm just glad that there's been
He's
three
looked all right.
texts from Ringless Joe that had nothing to do with the Packer. Who the hell's his team? The Lions.
Yeah.
That's next week.
It's just
Three
like
in a row.
he wants attention so bad, but your team was so good. We can't talk about him right now because they're not playing.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about the Lions from you, Joe. Not today. Not today. You can bring
But
it
you have
back
to
on
understand.
Monday.
You understand why, though.
Because he's ringless.
When you've been that bad for so long,
Yeah.
and you finally have something to talk about, you just want to talk.
I get it. But there's more in this world, Joe. There's
There's not.
more in this world.
For him right now, that's all there is.
Call
Now
it
listen,
Detroit radio station. They're
there's a
talking
good-
about him right now.
Yeah, you're right about that. There's a good chance, Joe. There's a good chance. And we'll talk about him on Monday, I'm sure. Devil Hawk says, hey, where are all the Niner fans spamming the text line with how great the Niners are and how big they're going to win the playoffs? Oh, that's right.
They're hurt.
You're right. And, well, now we heard from Tios the other day. Baker's Cocky Hen says Keon's about to have a bad weekend with both his teams losing and all those picks that he likes.
Yeah, people said that last week.
That's not.
Ouch. Here we are. That was hostile. All right. Hour 3 is next. Daily Blender.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
What in?
The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2025 WM Phoenix Open February 3rd through the 9th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com. WMPhoenixOpen.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up, you check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of Sporttrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the Sporttrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinning wheels. Live bets on Sporttrade are instantly accepted. Download Sporttrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
Sporttrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back next week. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and Ralph from Harmon Solar is joining us. Got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And here we are with our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em Picks, the last game of Super Duper Wild Card Weekend. We've been pretty much on the same page. A couple of games, there's been some variables. Because, Keon, I have to warn you, if you're wrong, Ralph will pass you in the picks contest.
Well,
He will.
tied.
You guys are absolutely tied right now, 181 to 181.
Yeah, I know.
I could take the week off.
If I thought I'd be wrong, I'd pick something else.
I could take the week off and still beat both of you, so I don't need to worry about it. But
Like, I could just pick whatever Ralph picked to keep us tied, but I don't.
That'd be aggravating.
Yeah.
no, you
Take-
pick what you really
yeah.
think. That's what you do. Pick what you really think. I've always thought it was funny. There was dumb people on the show in the past who use betting thought process on their Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em picks. It was like, I'm picking this team. Why? Oh, I think there's good value there. Dude, we're not doing spreads.
Yeah,
what are
no,
you
that-
doing?
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah, he was a Packers fan.
There's no payout for you. You get the pick right or wrong.
and predictably, he really always did badly with his picks. So you got to pick what you think, not what you feel, not what you want, not what you heart. You got to think what you think, and you got to put that into play. And that is what Keon damn near picked the Buccaneers. I could tell by the look in your face.
I might still pick them.
Yeah. He's like, pick my team or give Ralph that edge. I don't know. I don't know.
It's just when you I don't know. Jaden Daniels is the factor there for me. It's just he's just been so insanely good.
Mhm.
And Washington on fourth down, they've converted 87% of their fourth downs. They go for it on fourth a lot. So just that's the best number in the history of the NFL for any team that's tried it 20 times. They've tried it way more than 20 times.
Well,
so we'll see. But like they've got something.
Something. I think it's going to be. I think there will be one dud football game, and I think the rest will be fun. That's what I think. Baker's Cocky Hens. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Lacrosse guy says, Ralph, the Lambs will get slaughtered again in Arizona.
I guess we'll have lamb chops then.
I don't care for lamb chops.
Really?
I'll be honest with you.
I like them.
A little gamey, a little greasy.
I like a good lamb shank, actually.
Little lammy.
Little lammy.
Did you just threaten to shank Ralph? My God,
I like a good lamb shank.
See, right there, he's going to shank you,
It's-
Ralph.
It's a food.
He's going to shank you with food.
I don't think that's how that works. So okay.
Thundar, the Santa Bavarian, says, Ralph, if this was baseball, I'd be on your side. But since it's football, you're on your own.
Okay.
He's a Dodgers fan.
Oh.
And he's a Broncos fan.
Don't worry, we'll have plenty of months ahead where we'll be on the same page and enjoying it.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably.
Pickle D says, so I've always been curious, who does all the voiceovers on the intro theme? Oh my God. I've not sat there. Listen, I created that. Oh Lord, what was that? 2003. That's how old that intro is that we use for the show. And I know Tone Loc is in there. I know that the old doctor in Scrubs is in there.
There's a clip from Frasier in there.
Is there?
Yeah, where it says "Quiet people settle down." That's actually from Frasier.
No.
If you didn't do it from Frasier, there's an exact scene in Frasier with that exact voice.
No, that's from Scrubs.
You sure?
That's the doctor from Scrubs that says that.
I watched that episode of Frasier, and this guy got on there, was in the school thing, and he goes, "Quiet people settle down," and he sounded exactly like yours.
No, it's the old doctor, the boss doctor, not the other guy.
What if it was the same actor? Maybe.
No. Totally different guys. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to go back and actually sit there and listen to it intently. Used to be a longer intro, then I shortened it up. So I honestly don't know all the names in there, but
it's good though.
Record it with your tape deck and play it back over and over again and figure it out. Let me know. Ringless Joe says the only other team I have to talk about is the Suns, and that's just depressing. I was at the Pacers Suns game a month back, and there were Suns fans talking about missing Chris Paul. That's how bad it is.
Wow.
Yeah, they got to figure it out. Looks like they're working on it. Hey, I got to say that's pretty successful working on it when you make up some changes on the who's coming off the bench and it works. So we'll see. I don't know. Devil Hawk says, "Isn't Diddy in the?" No, Diddy is not in the intro. It's Ice-T.
Which again, how could you even remotely confuse either of those people?
Yeah, you can't.
They don't
that voice
sound
is
alike
very distinctive
at all. Yeah.
No lube was used in the making of that intro.
Well, we're all glad.
Beer Bob says Raider
Wasn't
fans
required either.
You don't know how I work. Beer Bob says Raider fans these days aren't like that anymore. Went to a game 2 years ago, wore my Patriots gear, had no issues. Yeah.
When they were in LA, they were pretty rough. That Coliseum, man, that was a rough place to be.
No, they it was a well-earned reputation, but they have softened as of late, and then even more now. Killer Rabbit says the guy from Seattle pulled out that green drink stopper stick in the knife fight with the Charger thug. I don't know what he's saying.
Green stopper.
I don't know what he's saying. I don't understand that.
He's talking about that game that I went to, but yeah, I don't know.
There was the other guy threatening him with a
green stopper,
a drink stick. I don't know. So, how about we finish up our Harmon Solar NFL fan pick'em picks? You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
We just haven't had any music for this because I guess Randy has the music for this. You don't worry about it, Keon. We've gone this far.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it would have been better if we'd had some music.
I didn't even think about it.
Don't we have that music in the computer there or nothing? I just
not in the computer. No, I have to pull it up.
Just a tip says the old doctor on Scrubs is a stunning dichotomy between evil and love. You know, like Ralph. Yeah, that's true.
Been told that.
All right, so let's just get to this. The Minnesota Vikings are playing the Los Angeles Rams, who are designated the home team at State Farm Stadium on Monday. Broadcast starts here at 5:30. Game starts at 6-ish or something like that. So Los Angeles on fire, and so now the Rams had to haul their ass over here real quick, and they're the home team against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to let you go first, Keon. Maybe give us a nice breakdown here, but my thoughts are pretty succinct, but you go ahead.
Yeah, I think that if you look back with both of these teams and you go all the way back to the last time they played, it's actually kind of eerily similar. The Vikings were just coming off of a loss to the Lions, went to go play the Rams, and the pressure of that Rams defense just got to Sam Darnold and gave him absolute fits. I find it absolutely impossible to believe that Kevin O'Connell hasn't made some adjustments from that moving forward. I also just think that, like, for overwhelmingly, the Vikings have played really, really good football, and I'm going to lean into that and all the weapons that they have. Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and the list goes on and on and on for them. I just think that, when it comes to the Rams, they've got Stafford, if Stafford's playing at an insane level, like, there's just not a whole lot you can do, especially when he's got Nakua and he's got Kupp to throw the football to. And that Rams defense, just you've got to start respecting it. They started off looking very bad. They were getting torched by everybody, but they fixed that defense. It's a very young defense. As the season went on, they clearly grew. Jared Verse, the edge rusher, just looks like a complete monster. He's not Aaron Donald, but he doesn't have to be Aaron Donald. They just needed somebody to generate pressure, and he does it, and he can beat, those one-on-one matchups. They need to double team him. That opens up stuff for everything else in that defense. So if the Vikings are able to get the ball out of the hands of Sam Darnold quickly, get into the quick game, get the ball to Justin Jefferson on, whatever it takes, screen passes, which they do an awful lot of, the slant passes. And then when you can pull the defense in, try and see if you can get it to him or Addison over the top. I do think that, Darnold is going to have his moments where he looks like the Sam Darnold we all used to know and laugh at, but I think that for the most part, he's been so solid this season. I feel pretty comfortable not picking against him. I'll take the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings. And I saw a story that said, oh, hell, if Sam Darnold continues to have problems, you could see Daniel Jones. No, you won't. No, you're not. Unless Sam Darnold breaks both legs at the same time. Even then, they'll be thinking, no, we're still not doing this. But all right. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Minnesota Vikings. They're just a more powerful team than the Rams. The Rams have some of the positives and negatives, but the only negative I can see for the Vikings is in between Sam Darnold's ears. And if he's just had a bad game and he pops back, this should be easy. This should just be no big deal. This game is going to go very right, very fast. If he's still not right, this is going to be a hell of a game. This is going to be a hard game, and because the rest of the Vikings will be trying to make the difference. Because if Sam Darnold's not operating on all cylinders, that opens the door nice and big for the Los Angeles Rams. No, but I got to go with the Vikings. Ralph?
I agree with you about Sam Darnold. I think, this is a very important game for him. He's playing for a contract next year. I mean, if he goes out losing the last two games and badly, let's say, like last week, Sam Darnold was bad. And you can tell when he's bad because he misses high, and he missed high a lot.
Yeah, that Justin Jefferson, what was it, that fade route in the back corner of the end zone? You're just like, my God, man.
I mean, that's when he's bad. So if you see him come out and he's missing high, it's going to be a long day for Sam Darnold and the Vikings. The other thing about that game was interesting. There was nobody open ever, it seemed like. The Lions were just all over them. I think maybe even some of them illegally, but he just had no one to throw to most of the game. But when he did have somebody to throw to, he missed a lot. So that'll be the thing to watch for early. That was a bad loss to come off of. That was a beating last week. And maybe they needed that. I don't know. The Rams, when these two played back in October, the Rams were just starting to find their legs, and they beat them 30-20. And I feel like if you look back then to now, the Rams are better today than they were back then. And I think the Vikings are maybe in not the best place after coming off that loss. So it's going to be interesting to see how they react to that and what the Rams can do to them. I love Matthew Stafford. The fact that he got to sit last week was huge. Puka Nacuna and Cooper Kupp got to sit last week. I just think that's a big deal that they got to rest. And they'll be ready for this game. I'm taking the Rams. I think the Rams can win this game. I think it's going to be close. I think it's a really good game. But I just think the Rams got a little bit more on offense, and I love that young defense. I just love how they just jump on the ball, and they're going to get to Sam Darnold and put pressure on him. Sam Darnold is really bad under pressure. He doesn't know what to do. So, and he's not very mobile, obviously. So I'm going to take the Rams in a close game.
Let's go to the text line and see what people have to say there. Ringless Joe says the Minnesota Vikings are so insanely unlucky that them being first round bounced with 14 wins, absolutely, completely believable. In fact, I'd say it's an ending that only that team could write.
That's possible.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You win 14 games, you play a team that's won 10, and you somehow find yourself at home. Yeah, I mean, just look at the history of the Vikings.
Exactly.
It all depends on a Sam Darnold choke job. That's what it depends on.
It does, and I also think it kind of depends on getting TJ Hawkinson involved as well. He was not a factor at all last week, but the Rams, I think if they have a weakness on that defensive side of the ball, it's defending tight ends. They've given up the fourth most amount of yards and the third most amount of receptions to tight ends this season. So TJ Hawkinson, who I don't believe was quite 100% when they played last, that's going to be, I think, the big factor.
Silver Pop says, as a football fan, I love the playoffs, obviously. However, I will not watch the Rams-Vikings game. Just the thought of Donnie or Bandwagon Ralph having enjoyment from the outcome of that game makes me cringe.
Well,
seems like an odd punishment for yourself.
Yeah, like someone's going to enjoy it whether or not you watch the game. You might as well watch the game.
Football.
Vikings fan Navy Brad says, Ralph, might see you at the game. Vikings 20, Rams 18.
Hope to see you.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, ha, Puka Nacua. It means you should worry. Is that what Puka Nacua means?
I don't think it should mean that, but I don't think it means that. No, I could look it up if you want, but I don't think that's what that means.
I thought it was Hawaiian for it means you should worry is Chris Ballard is your GM. That actually is direct translation.
Yes.
Sir Drives a Lot says the Vikings always choke in the playoffs. Rams will win this one by 10.
I mean, the Vikings choke at various points in the playoffs too. It's not like they just choke in the first round every time they make it. There have been times they've gotten to the NFC title game and then completely fallen apart. So I don't think that means that they're going to choke now.
So I'm
later.
looking at the picks, and I'd say there's 2 of these picks I'm not 100% confident in. Like, I know it could go either way. And it's really the last 2. The one with the Vikings and the Rams and the Commandos and the Bucks. The rest of it, I feel pretty good about.
I agree with you. Those are both tough games.
Those are the tough ones.
I feel actually fairly confident in the Vikings. I don't feel confident about the Washington pick, and I don't feel confident about the Green Bay pick.
No, you shouldn't, because the Eagles are going to win that. Number one Rattlers fan says, so I'm curious, what's against the spread think? I don't know if he wants to tell us, he will. You can't just stare in a mirror and say against the spread, against the spread, against the spread, and suddenly he shows up with some betting ideas. He shows up when he wants. He shares.
He's not Bloody Mary.
No, he shares when he shares.
No,
We're happy when we get it.
He's more like Gandalf. He just shows up when he's supposed to.
Yeah,
good wizard always just shows up right at the time that he needs to. So
Gandalf the better. He says, I'm curious what he thinks about this all 6 teams who are underdogs and all 6 games to go under 12th play. What the are you talking about?
I think you mean it's all 6 teams?
Well, there's 12 teams
that are underdogs, though.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, dude, you got to work on this. So what does he think about all 6 teams that are underdogs and all 6 games go under 12 place, should go 7 or 5 or Happy New Year? Congratulations, Ralph, on your fantasy championship, which, by the way, he's been typing for weeks. I 6 underdogs, 6 unders, he says. What was your question?
He wants against the spread to show up.
I don't think that Bills Broncos is under. I'm not sure the Chargers Texans is under, and I don't care what the number is for Washington and Tampa Bay. I don't think that's an under either. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the 4th best run defense. They have like the 30th pass defense, and the reverse is almost true for Washington, who has like a pretty solid secondary at this point, but that run defense in Washington is not good.
Number one Rattlers fan says, I use voice to text and sometimes it's not perfect. Dude, your voice to text is drunk.
It just you need to sit down and like take your voice to text to therapy because it doesn't understand you at all.
Yeah, either couples or singular, whichever,
because it's need a breakthrough there.
Sir Drives a Lot says, we now know why they're asking for against the spread. Cardinal Art says, hey, oh, by the way, forgot one thing. Suck it, Ralph. He says, I got the Vikings. Too much mental going on in the organization due to circumstances from the fire. I also have the Eagles, Commandos, Buffalo, Baltimore, and the Chargers.
Is that Cardinal Art?
Cardinal Art.
Yeah, I'll be sitting in one of your seats watching not your team in the playoffs, so have fun.
Oh, that hurt me right in the spleen.
not even my team. Why?
Yeah, that was vicious.
He deserved it.
I don't think he was really going after the Rams like that. Just unnecessary. He was just saying that the Rams haven't been able to practice that.
Well, he didn't lead with "Suck It, Ralph," though.
But everyone does.
Well, not everyone.
Well, only the people who like Ralph don't.
Well, his wife was on the mic the other day, and she didn't say it.
Why? She said it afterwards.
Oh, all right. Well, hello. Hefty Lefty says back to the Broncos because it'll be the last time they have a game this season, most likely. But Sean Payton's 30-12 all time versus bald-headed coaches. So look out, McDermott.
Jeez.
I think that you just made that stat up.
It's about to be 30-13 then.
I feel like that stat just got made up. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back. We got a bunch of random sports to talk about and then a bunch of football to talk about. Plenty to talk about. Come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, brought to you by GBank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. VSiN.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval, terms and conditions apply.
As the NFL playoffs begin this weekend, the Kansas City Chiefs are the betting favorite to win the AFC. They have a first-round bye as they vie for their third straight Super Bowl title. Kansas City plus 140 to be at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Buffalo at plus 250. Baltimore plus 275. The Los Angeles Chargers are plus 1,400, and the Denver Broncos and Houston Texans, Pittsburgh Steelers, all at plus 3,000. Meanwhile, in the NFC, the Lions with the first-round bye are plus 125 to represent that conference in Super Bowl 59, while the Philadelphia Eagles, the 2 seed, at plus 300. Minnesota is at plus 600. Green Bay and Tampa Bay both plus 1,000. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This new year, I want to spend more time with my family, get healthier, and make sure my finances are in order. That includes finally securing life insurance. My friend recommended SelectQuote. They've helped more than 2 million people find coverage in the last 40 years. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month. And my husband got a $500,000 policy for only $18 a month. Plus, we qualified for same-day life insurance. No medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With SelectQuote, even if you have a health concern, be it high blood pressure, diabetes, even heart disease, their experienced agents can find you the right life insurance policy at the lowest price. Make life insurance the first resolution you check off your list this year.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-860-4545 to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-860-4545. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-860-4545. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at HarmanSolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to HarmanSolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's HarmanSolar.com.
In most countries of the world, Forte means door. United Forte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
The GCU men's basketball squad is coming off their winningest season in 35 years, their third trip to the NCAA tournament in 4 years, and their first ever NCAA tournament victory. Returning 4 of their 5 starters in Ray Harrison, Colin Moore, Duke Brennan, and reigning WAC Player of the Year, Tyon Grant Foster, the Lopes look to defend their WAC titles and make a run to the Sweet 16. With a non-conference slate, including Stanford, Georgia, and crosstown rival Arizona State, you won't want to miss a moment of the action. So join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long, right here on the home of the Lopes, 1580 The Fanatic. Lopes up.
Sunday morning, catch live NFL coverage on The Fanatic.
Welcome to the playoffs, Denver. This is a young and hungry Broncos squad that could prove to be dangerous. However, they get to take on the Buffalo Bills, a 13-win Bills team looking to score their first Super Bowl championship. The Broncos at the Bills. Listen live Sunday morning at 10:30.
You're home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic.
Okay. Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I got a smudge right here, right in my glasses. I don't have my little cleaner with me.
That sucks.
It's your shirt. Oh no, that makes it worse. Makes it worse. Kyle G says, I refrain from joining the screw you, Ralph's crowd. It's rude and it's childish and it's lazy. So I go with up yours, Ralph. I hope your solar panels crack on the coldest night of the year.
They still work when they're cracked.
Wow.
So it wouldn't matter.
So it wouldn't make a difference.
At least it's a new dig, though, isn't it? That's a new dig to say
it's something.
Up yours, and I hope your solar panels crack. No, that's not how that works, Kyle G. It's not how that works. Navy Brad says, Ralph, I'm in the lower bowl. I think section 247. If we cross paths, I'll buy a beverage for you.
That sounds good, man.
You going to go down there and find him?
I might, yeah. I'm in the Ring of Honor, so I'm going to be looking around for people.
He's going to go down to 247. Beer me.
Beer me.
Let's see here. Cardinal Art says, thought you was a Nevermind fan. Enjoy that seat I left warm for you. What?
Nevermind fan?
He doesn't like to say Seahawks.
Oh.
Yeah, nobody, it's a Cardinal fan likes to say Seahawks. So. Baker's Cocky Hen says, when Ralph's wife says it, he listens.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
She says, suck it, Ralph. I'm not going to say no.
Like, let me just turn this off. And Ringless Joe says, do you guys like watching players sellies?
Sellies?
What kind of dumb, what?
What, like when they happen in the game?
Do we like watching joy?
I'm already watching
happiness?
I'm already watching the game. Yeah. Why?
I don't like joy or happiness. I sometimes think they're
like
overly choreographed. I'm like, come on, guys.
But
come on.
Fun.
But that's fun too. Look,
it just seems like sometimes I'm like, okay. Just one guy doing a little icky shuffle or something. But
do I look like 2009 Roger Goodell to you? Because he's the only person that really didn't like it.
True.
Yeah. I don't dislike it, but sometimes I'm like, whoa, you spent a lot of time on this. A lot of time on this.
I mean, listen, the guys that get to the end zone very often, you're trying to do a new one every time. Suddenly you're thinking about it an awful lot.
Or maybe do the Larry Fitzgerald. Here you go. Here's the ball. Or chuck it up to the crowd, or do a Gronk spike. I don't know.
Yeah, but Larry's got his own personality. There are some people who are just like, nah, scoring a touchdown is one of the most exciting things you can do in life. Almost nobody on the planet Earth gets to do it at the level of the NFL.
Well,
get there.
Here's the reason that Ringless Joe is even asking, because he wanted us to rank them so he could vote for Amon-Ra St. Brown doing the belt whooping selling.
Okay. I mean,
I knew I was going to come back around to that somehow.
I'm not going to rank them. No, I don't care about them enough to do that. I do like the Baker Mayfield first down one. I have no idea what it means. But when he gets the first down and then he slides his finger under his nose and then points. I don't know. He's just been doing it for a while.
Sanchez, Dirty Sanchez.
I do not know. It's Baker. He's kind of crazy. It could be anything.
It's like, look what I did to your sister. Is that what that is? I don't know.
It could be completely innocent or filthy, as you just said. And I would not be shocked either way.
I'm guessing filthy. Cardinal Art says, I'll see you at the spot in Glendale. Suck starter, Ralph.
Awesome.
What does that mean? I can't wait to see you so I can just pester you. And maybe I'll buy you a beer too.
We're going to be at the spot doing our remote for Super Sundays. That's what he's talking about.
Can I just say something, Ralph?
Yeah, first. Yeah.
If somebody's going to buy you a beer, I would insist that it's a bottle with the cap still on. You know what I mean?
So I shouldn't get spiked, you mean?
And can's fine too, but the tab better be
a little hot in there, if you know what
closed.
I mean. Navy Brad says, I'll be wearing a Tarkenton jersey and a Gulf War veteran hat.
That's nice. I'm going to be wearing a Jack Youngblood jersey. So,
yeah, he pulls it out of his closet and dusts it off every time the Seahawks stink and the Rams do good.
That's not true. I was a huge Jack Youngblood fan. So,
hey, everybody, Against the Spread is here.
Like I said, Gandalf.
He says, sorry about my pick Penn State quarterback last night. Boy, was that a bad pick. Ohio State rolls tonight and covers the 5.5. They got better athletes. They're hungry. And Michigan, they just pissed the Buckeyes off. That team is on a mission since that incident in Columbus. Play smart, and everyone always practice money management. You know, listen, I was glad. I was glad that Kitty Raper State lost. Oh, my God. I was so happy to see Notre Dame win that game.
I will say this. You were almost right about Drew Aller right up until the moment he decided to crap down his leg in literally the biggest moment of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be sacked. All he had to do was keep the football and lose the yards. They probably go to overtime.
Do you feel like the better team lost? Because I do.
I do, but also James Franklin's on the other sideline. So, here's a stat that just blew my mind. Dylan told this to me, and I watched the game and still didn't know that this happened. Not a single receiver for the Penn State Nittany Lions was a wide receiver. Running backs and tight ends.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Played like Kyler Murray.
Just not a single.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to beat Texas tonight. I'd be worried if I was a Texas fan.
Yeah, well, I am worried. I am definitely that.
I think the game is about to start here,
Yeah.
so we'll keep you updated on that. I'd say I would do it, but I think Keon's
His expression.
if you watch carefully. I would zoom in the YouTube feed and watch, because Keon will have one eye pointed at us and the other one towards the TV that he's
Man,
looking at over there. So
Literally, I've been hearing it all week. There's nobody believes in the Texas Longhorns, and quite frankly,
oh my God, is that Forrest Whitaker? What happened?
Given all the media coverage the Longhorns have gotten over the years, this is new to me.
I mean, they can win the game.
They absolutely can win the
they're a
game,
good team.
but I mean, you look at the betting line, you look at all the expert pick, like nobody thinks this team against the spread doesn't even think.
I could see Ohio State just taking a dump, and just not doing good tonight.
Yeah, but I could also see them showing up like a buzzsaw.
It's going to be one or the other. It's either going to be the buzzsaw or they're going to get blown out.
I need him to actually work for another half hour.
he's
Could
done.
you not break Keon, please?
No, I'll work. I'll be fine. But also, I'm terrified. I'm just currently terrified.
Where are you going to go watch the game? Are you going to stay where you are just so you can see the entirety, or are you going to rush off to see the game somewhere?
I'll probably go to a B-dub somewhere, but I'll watch some of it here because I got stuff to do after. But yeah,
you've got so many punch cards that have been finished off for B-dubs. I mean, do you have a special card, or
sometimes I go to
one,
B-dubs.
get one?
Sometimes I go to Native because it's right around the corner from my house, and if I need to drink lots, I can walk home.
Oh, that's smart. Very smart. Yeah.
Tonight might be one of those nights, depending on how things go.
I would do Native.
Yeah.
You'll probably know in a half hour which one you're going to. You'll have that.
You're going to drink either way.
I am going to drink either way.
Oh yeah, go to Native then. Go to Native. I don't want to have to come pick you up in the middle of the night.
I got the little.
You get that one call.
I got the little, Lyft app.
There's certain people that I know that if I get a call past a certain time, I got to grab not just my keys and my wallet, but also my checkbook, because I'm bailing somebody.
Nah, I don't drive drunk.
That's why I put my phone on silent.
I don't do that.
Ringless Joe says the Bears had a great celly where they Lambo leaped into a herd of Packer fans. That's got to be an honorable mention. That's brave, is what that is.
That's funny.
Silver Pop says, I don't remember which receiver did it, but he did the ray gun performance as a touchdown celebration. I think who was I saw that one too. Who was that? Yeah, that was good. That was a deep dive. That was pretty funny because he did it long enough after the Olympics where you're like, what have I seen? That's
that's
ray
right.
gun. It's ray gun. Baker's Cocky Hen says Ralph seems he really seems to enjoy saying he's in the Ring of Honor. Sitting there doesn't mean you're in the Ring of Honor, Ralph.
With my career, I could be. There's not much else up there.
Do tell. Which part of the career?
I mean, okay, that's true.
I'm just saying. I mean, if you look at the Ring of Honor there, it's like, what is that?
Carson Palmer's up there. Like most teams,
yeah, I would put Ralph over Carson Palmer's name.
Most teams have like a Ring of Honor, and it's like, wow, it's all Hall of Famers in here. And then it's
Not Arizona.
Well, we don't have
It's
to
like,
talk
who was
about
that again?
Just
Buffy McFlu? Who's that? I don't know.
Why are you here?
That was Bidwell's hairdresser.
Buffy McFlu. Yeah.
He had none. Just a Tip says, please tell us when Keon's shows are coming up this week. He doesn't suck so bad on air that they might be worth listening to. Well, that is almost a compliment.
I don't even know how to take that. Thanks.
Keon is taking a break from his Saturday show. So the shows that he's on are beat the book in this one. So he's just, it's kind of like, for a while there's like, hey, I got my own thing. And then after a while, he's like, God, I work a lot. And
yeah, it's just like, there's just a certain point where I'm like, wow, I am in this building every day.
Mm-hmm.
I need a day off. I need one.
I get that when I see Neil every Sunday. I'm like,
yeah,
I really want to see him every Sunday.
It's just like, maybe.
But also, Keon, imagine what it'd be like if you actually worked hard. Then it'd be even worse.
Wow.
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 That was irony because you work hard. You know.
I know. It still hurt.
That was a shot. That hurt me.
It still hurt.
Well, I mean, after a while, Ralph, I feel like I'm beating up a toddler. So I gotta throw some swings around. Man.
You said that. I was
mean,
like,
I'm not upset about it, but it kind of hurt me too.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Well, then bonus. I'm glad. Now I'm happy.
Yeah, now he beat us both up. He punched me and I fell into you and knocked us both over.
Yeah, you knocked my tooth out, man.
I punched Keon. The follow through hit Ralph, who was sitting next to him. It's like a stooge slap.
One of those old westerns where
that was bad.
Niner 1680 says, I got Texas winning. And he shows his betting stub, $25 to pay $154.
At this point, Texas is such a massive underdog. The value is just betting Texas. I don't even know if they're going to win.
What's the line?
Well, I think he's got a. Is that parlay? It's like plus 517. Well, he had like a bonus thing, but I think it's plus 389. Six and a half.
The line opened at 1.
It's 6.5 on looks like DraftKings.
When I tell you nobody believes in this team right now, I'm like, wow, I really thought this was going to be maybe not 50-50, but like 60-40.
I take the 6 points.
No.
Big George says, Jeffrey, if I text the text line after midnight, it means I need your help dumping a body. Don't worry, they deserved it. First off, I'm not on the text line except for when we're on the show or if I need to go and tell somebody something. And if you can't handle the body by yourself, there's no way I can help because you're huge. You know what I'm saying? How big is a body you can't handle by yourself? At 7 feet
It's
tall.
like we don't know another 7-footer, so like unless you killed another 7-footer, in which case we're definitely useless.
But you know what, George? I do see them on Sunday morning when I come in, and I see there's always like 2 or 3 texts.
There's like some drunk texts from the
there's
weekend.
always something like on the text line. I'm just like, whatever. Yeah. And I always decide, do I want to delete them or do I want to let Jeffrey watch them? I don't know.
You don't delete them. You just leave them alone. You click on them, mark them red.
Yeah.
they'll disappear.
George usually has one, though.
Does he really? George, nobody's here over the weekend paying attention to you. Moist One says, I'll be watching from home on the chilly Ring of Honor. I don't get that. Probably dirty, but I don't get it. Devil Hawk says, this is why Keon is line for a big raise from Radio Ron, right? Yeah. He could take that up with Radio Ron.
Yeah, sometime at a quarter past, not anytime
Never.
soon.
Yeah, never. Ringless Joe says, is there any backup quarterback in the league that you would take to start over Kyler Murray? A backup quarterback that you would start over Kyler Murray?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah, I can't think of one. Can't think of one. Ringless Joe, let me guess. The Lions have somebody we should think about?
It's just that seems to be the theme of everything you text this show.
I mean, the best backup, who's the best backup that's not starting? I mean,
Sam Howell?
Because Darnold was the backup, remember?
Maybe Sam
Howell's got a ton of experience.
Taylor Heineke.
Well, what about Justin Fields?
Maybe.
Yeah, Justin's but I wouldn't take Justin over Kyler though.
No, I'm just looking for the best backup right now.
Yeah.
Shut up with your Jimmy G, Moist One. Kirk Cousins.
I mean, yes,
technically, yeah.
Well, not with the way he was playing.
He's getting starter money, but
would you still play him over one of these other guys the way he's been playing recently?
Recently, yeah. I mean,
he's not healed yet.
Yeah, I would take Cousins over most of those guys. Yeah.
Ringless Joe says, I was just wondering if Murray's regressed to the point of not being a starting caliber quarterback.
Well, he hasn't, right? Because Kyler Murray's big problem is inconsistency. Like to me, that's the biggest issue because Kyler looks like a top 5 quarterback one game and then literally the worst quarterback in football in the next game. And you're just like, you can't, that's what you can't build around. It's not that he can't play at the high level that he's played at in the past. He's done it a few times this season. You know, against the Bills, he looked insanely good. He had a good Niners game, both of them actually. He's had moments, but he's also had moments where you're like, how did you get into this league, and who did you deceive to get here? You can't build around a guy whose variance is either best or near best or worst or near worst.
But you're stuck with him. What are you going to do? You for at least for the next year, maybe two. You're stuck with him.
You might be stuck with him, but like that,
there's no one else.
You're gonna have to make either some free agency move or trade for somebody's backup rookie like Joe Milton in New England. I would pick up the phone and ask the Patriots what would it take for me to get that guy.
Ralph, either you've got a message or your ass just had an idea. I heard that ding.
Oh, yeah, that's my new phone. I'm trying to get used to it.
You got a new phone? What happened to your flipper phone?
I got
fold phone.
I'm done with Android. I went back to iPhones.
You was.
I
thought you loved your little foldy
I was
phone.
a big iPhone guy for years, and I went to Android for a few years. They always break. I mean, it seems like these Androids every year and a half. I have a problem with my Android.
That's a you thing. I've had my Samsung. I've had nothing but droids forever, and mine lasts for years and years until they finally update out. I've never had an issue.
I bought a 16 Pro Max. These are pretty nice. So
this is a 3-year-old phone.
I haven't had a phone last more than like a year and a half.
I don't really know how that's
back
possible.
up. Let me see that phone again. That looks like it's a nice lady phone right there. It's like some pink and everything.
It's not pink. It's desert titanium.
On your screen, it looks pink. Are you sure it's not pink?
It's just what it is.
It looks like you have a pink iPhone.
Okay.
I'm
not phobic about colors. I mean, whatever.
You know that
just the
back
color.
in the day,
I don't understand that.
about 100 years ago, boys, when they were born, were put into pink clothing.
That's true.
Because back then they thought it was a stronger color, and that blue was the softer color for girls. And somewhere along the way, they was like, no, I like the pink on the girls and the blue on the boys. I don't
It's just
know.
a color.
Stuff changes over time.
I used to wear some nice pink polos back in the 80s.
Okay,
Remember
I
the
didn't
80s
even know. I
guys
didn't
wore a
do
bunch
that.
of pink stuff. It was no big deal.
I never wore any pink.
Never. Come
My
on.
shoes are pink.
I never wore any
Yeah.
pink. I was like, no, thank you.
You
Nope.
never wore pink.
No.
Wow.
Nope.
Wear whatever
I mean,
color you want. but
Even
like-
with the pop collar thing,
Yeah,
collar
I used to
thing
do
in
that.
the 80s. No, I never had a pink polo shirt. I was just kind of like, no. And then I knew other guys that had it and they got girls. I'm not saying
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a thing. It just was never my thing. I always kind of knew it was like, nah, that's not
How
for
you
me.
lived in Arizona. When you
That's
lived in
not for me.
when you lived in the San Fernando Valley during the 80s, that was the thing, right? The Valley Girls and all that stuff. I mean, I lived in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
No, I
lived
can see
with
you
a
in
bunch
pink.
of- You were with all the lifeguards. I mean, I remember your
That's right.
stories.
Goddamn right. All right, got to take a break. Pickle D, I'll get to your text when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max used for adults only.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The GCU men's basketball squad is coming off their winningest season in 35 years, their third trip to the NCAA tournament in 4 years, and their first ever NCAA tournament victory. Returning 4 of their 5 starters in Ray Harrison, Colin Moore, Duke Brennan, and reigning WAC Player of the Year, Tyon Grant Foster, the Lopes look to defend their WAC titles and make a run to the Sweet 16. With a non-conference slate, including Stanford, Georgia, and crosstown rival Arizona State, you won't want to miss a moment of the action. So join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on the home of the Lopes, 1580 The Fanatic. Lopes up.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
This is Brian Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. All right, so Pickle D says, what do we think? Any chance? And I'm like, what? He's like, here's some bets that he has. He says, any chance either of these hit? Okay. So here's a ticket at plus 50,000. $2 gets him $1,000.
Wow.
Says NFL Super Wildcard Weekend Special. Each team to score 2+ field goals in all 6 wild card weekend games. So that means every team kicks 2 field goals.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to predict that, but it can happen.
I'd say unlikely. Can it? Sure.
But possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Defenses get stingier in the playoffs. You're not quite getting to the end zone. You might get one of everybody, but I don't.
But
who
hey,
is asking a lot?
You're only putting up $2 to get 1,000, so
Yeah,
why not?
It's not costing you a whole lot.
See if you can try that bet again, where each team to score 1 field goal in all 6 wild card weekend games. The odds will probably drop. I don't know what to, but I'd say that's a better bet. And here's the next one. He says he's got $1 to make $200. Each team to score 1+ rushing touchdown in all 6 wild card weekend games. Each team to get a rushing touchdown.
So just one, not 1+.
Well, it says 1 or more.
One
is
or
what
more.
that means. So each team.
That's tough too, man.
Steelers, how's their run game? Unless it's
Najee
Russell
Harris.
Wilson.
That's Najee Harris.
Najee Harris is pretty solid, but you're going up against the Ravens, who
Aren't they a team where he gets them close and then somebody else does it? You know what I'm saying? Is that
I feel like the Eagles are the worst version of that, because
Right, for
Saquon will get
Saquon.
right there, and then Jalen's like, sorry.
But if
I'll take
Jalen
it
runs
from
it
here.
in, then that counts.
That's
It's a rushing touchdown. So
Yeah,
but
that's
it's a
true.
ripoff.
I'd say I'm surprised at how 20,000 plus 20,000 on the odds and $1 bet only gets you 200. I'm surprised that that's not a better value than what you got there. So yeah, I think which one of those is most likely? Probably the rushing one. That's probably why but I don't know.
I think they're both tough.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to probably get that $3 back. But it's
Yeah,
$30.
That seems like the tougher one.
Makes it fun to watch the games.
Yeah, because
I like this-
especially because you're looking for very specific things.
Sure. I like your creativity with the field goal thing.
Yeah, it's kinda
that's
cool.
pretty good. Navy Brad says, I do enjoy me some vertical pink. Okay, we can. Latina Leprechaun says, welcome to the Apple family, Ralph. We're glad to have you. Androids do break down a lot. Apples last forever. I've never had a droid break on me.
Me neither.
Ever.
The only time I've ever had a droid break on me, literally, a little kid ran into me. It fell out of my hand. It cartwheeled into the street and got run over by a car. That is the only time that's ever
All right,
happened.
the only time I had a problem, I'm walking around the corner, my dog in front of me, and I walk by the pool, and it just slips out of my hand. He goes bloop into the water. I was like, what the hell just happened? I've never done that before. That's the only time. So no, droids.
So you've never
droids are
used an
plenty
iPhone.
good.
You've never used an iPhone then?
No.
See, I go back to I had an iPhone 1 when they first came out. I had it. One, the two,
it was
the
it was
three,
a
the
corded
four,
thing
the
to the
five.
wall.
No, the iPhone 1 was a really nice. When they came out, it was an amazing phone. I mean, but I go all the way back. So I switched a few years ago, and yeah, I prefer the iPhone.
I get a new phone literally every 4 to 5 years, and I've only ever had Droids.
Yeah, that's why it's always 4 to 5 years. They last longer. The only thing is, Samsung has been like kind of hastening with the way they do their updates.
Yeah,
but this one I got right here, the Samsung, I think mine's an Ultra for like 22. I think they're up to the 25. Still going strong.
25 is coming out like next week or something.
But I got a buff enough version of it. At that time, it'll probably last longer. So
I think they only can last. I think the new 25 can last 6 years. 6 updates is what it is. They do it by update, and after that, it won't work anymore.
I don't think that's true about the not work anymore.
It won't.
It just won't work.
It won't take the updates anymore.
Oh,
so anything
good.
they put new,
I don't want
you
any more
can't do it.
updates. I love my phone. I love my phone.
And I
the
think
way
the
it is.
Androids are more prone to being hacked as well, which is a problem. Or
I
you
don't
have
do
a hard
banking
time
on it. I don't do any of that on there, so I don't care. Hack away. What are you going to get? My pics? Okay.
Or your pictures.
Hmm?
Your pictures.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Then I
have
let your mom know there is a risk.
My mom's dead.
But
I have the Samsung Galaxy Flip 3. We're
Oh,
on
that's cool.
6 right now.
The Flip 3?
How do you know which update you're on?
I just knew what it was when I bought it.
No, but
I had to
how
Google to figure out which one they just put out. The 6 is the one that's the latest one.
I don't even care if we have more important things to do. This is about my phone now, so let's see here. I just hit about phone. Software information? I don't know. 6.1. It says that, and I'm on Android version 14. Does that mean anything?
Not to me.
Not to me. I don't know. When it says update, I update it.
The damn phone works. I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's $1,000 phone though. It
All
better
of them
last. It better last. No, I know. I mean, I think Apple phones are more expensive.
Not really. No, they're actually cheaper. And they gave me $1,000 for my phone, my old phone. And I was like, that's pretty good. If you're going to give me $1,000 credit, I'm going to take it.
Wait, if they give you $1,000 credit, they just give you a free phone.
Well, no, because this phone's like $1,400, so I think I have to pay like
See, you
$10.
just said it was cheaper. Guess what? It's not.
Oh yeah, because those fold phones are $2,000.
Oh yeah.
So this is like $11 a month.
Yeah, I could
for a
never get
16
past the
Pro
crease.
Max.
Couldn't get past the crease.
And they're thick and heavy.
Well, you had the whole one that was almost a tablet. I don't
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah.
I have the smaller one.
You had the small flip one, right?
Yeah.
Pickle D says, I've been running Android since the beginning. Never a single issue. Crapple and Tesla are exactly the same. Charge 30% more for a product that does the exact same things as a competitor just because of the name. Yeah, I've never been a label guy. That's never been me. I
I
was
will
like,
say-
Guess jeans. Guess who paid way too much? Look at all the Levi's I've got over here from as much as you paid for Guess jeans.
When I buy jeans, the only concern I have is, are they blue?
Yeah.
I don't care what.
Well,
what
you don't like
company
black, you don't like
makes
black
them.
jeans? I like black
I
jeans.
also like black jeans. Yeah, but
Keon, we grew up in the
Are
80s
they
where we had
denim?
black jeans, we had white jeans, we had blue jeans, we had
Acid
acid
wash.
wash. We had
Everybody wear acid wash.
yeah,
Yeah.
The acid wash popped up like when I was in high school briefly, and then everybody just unanimously decided, no, we're
not
never
going
doing
back.
that again.
You had
We're
to wear
not going back.
Sassoon back in the day.
Oh,
Remember
no,
that?
no.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
The
my
Sassoon?
sister wore those. I would never wear those. Vidal Sassoon. Shut up. Happy birthday to Buddha Baker. So you guys want to hear a Buddha joke?
Sure.
Here's a Buddha joke. A Buddhist monk walks up to a hot dog vendor and says, "Make me one with everything." And the vendor gives him the hot dog, gives it to the monk. The monk hands the vendor a $20 bill. Vendor pockets it, and monk says, "Hey, where's my change?" Says, "Change must come from within, my friend."
Oh my god!
The Buddhist pulls out a gun and says, "All right, where's my change?" And he's like, whoa, where'd that come from? And the monk says, "This is my inner peace."
Wow.
Just too many
That's funny.
too many levels of that.
Another monk is sitting is like, "Hey, don't just do something, sit there." Yeah, there you go.
Don't just do something. Sit there.
That's all the monk jokes I can handle for one moment. So happy birthday, Buddha Baker. Pickle D says, "Good luck, Keon in Texas." And all that. How's it going so far? I've heard no updates from you.
Well, because no one scored yet, but Texas had the ball. They got the ball first, and got to about the 20. Went for it on fourth down. Did not get it.
All right. Well, 0-0 is better than the alternative. So it's time now ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1982, on third down at the Cowboys' 6-yard line and trailing 27-21, the Niners in Joe Montana needed a miracle. As he dropped back to pass, Joe Montana found wide receiver Dwight Clark alone in the end zone for what became known as the catch. He leapt high into the air and caught that pass, a miracle. And then they won the game. Also, January 7th, I forgot to celebrate it this year, was the day I caught COVID from Ralph. First and only time I ever had COVID.
You remember the date?
First and only time I ever had COVID. Ralph, however, has had COVID many times since.
Three times.
Those 3 minis.
That's a lot.
I'll say 2 things. First off, I didn't give you COVID.
You gave me COVID, and you know it. I've been in my house for like 2 years, and all of a sudden, I sit there with you once. I got COVID.
Your wife gave it to you. You gave it to me.
My wife never left the house either. Nice try.
I don't care. And second off, Dwight Clark didn't jump that high to get that ball.
He caught it,
but he didn't jump that high. I mean, he was a big dude, and it's not like he made some miraculous jump for that ball. But it was a great.
So why
catch.
are you anti Chuck Clark? I mean, Dwight Clark.
Who the hell's Chuck Clark?
I don't know.
Did he have COVID too?
What's your problem with Dwight Clark?
I like Dwight Clark. I'm just saying. When people
he jumped up.
People say he made this miraculous jump to get that ball. I'm like, no, he really didn't.
Well, you're trying to win the game. You could hear the.
I mean, it was most
the Bionic Man there.
Most important catch in Niner history, obviously.
They got a statue for it, Ralph.
That's the most important catch in their history. It started the run.
You got to bust balls on Dwight Clark.
Think about it. We talked about backup quarterbacks. Like Steve Young was a backup to Montana, which is kind of weird to think.
Wasn't Steve Young was just the next guy up that was on the bench,
and then Montana just kept playing and
That's
playing.
not a backup.
He was a backup.
That's the future.
You're a backup when you play the position where there's only one on the field. You're the backup until
I'd say you'd call him the rookie because
but it was like 1 year, 2 year, 3 years,
he is a
4
backup.
years. Like it got to be a while. He wasn't a rookie by the time
he was turning gray.
Joe Montana was a jerk.
No, hell of a quarterback. He was a hell of a quarterback.
He wasn't a jerk. I was just.
I was like, wait, how do you know that?
I don't know. Balls of Fury says, sounds like Ralph has the immune system of an infant. You are correct. Anyways, that's it for us. Be sure to join Ralph and Neil for their whatever the hell it is they do Sunday morning at 9 a.m. And we'll see you guys Monday at 3 p.m.